It's Thursday. Where does the time go? While you're pondering that or the question to what you're doing this morning, let me answer that. It's Good Morning Pop Culture. Let me pose another question to you right now. If Ethan Van Sciver licks the butter in your fridge and there's no one there to see it, does it stay moist? This morning's show is going to be a little more serious, folks. We're going to be covering the Disney firing of James Gunn, the Kevin Feige follow-up, as well as some Star Wars contradictions, and a few other sad, mundane things. But before we get into that, let's see who's in the chat this morning. So we're waiting to hit our magical number at 200. Good morning to everyone here. Yes, let the muffery begin. Who let the muffs out? Well, somebody did. That's an early 2000s reference like 4 listeners will get. Just goes to show you how old I truly am. 29. The James Bond video got hit with demonetization and issues, so we're waiting to get that figured out, and then it'll pop back up. So I don't know what's going on behind the scenes. Maybe we are getting hit with some flagging or something like that. Maybe the words 00 virgin are triggering people. Who knows? You never know on YouTube. Just when you think you know the rules and you figure out how to play the game, well, they change the rules, and you go from playing baseball to squash. So it's no good for anyone the way they handle themselves here on this platform at times. But we're not here to bitch about that or lament the fact of YouTube being what it once was. No, we're here to have a fun morning with Good Morning Pop Culture. I got my coffee, I got my news subjects, and we're going to have a lot of fun. So, Mundane Matt's career is over. We're going to talk about his apology. I'm not going to make too much of a stink about it because, like I said on the High Council this week, he lied to us. I feel betrayed, and he no longer has a place on this channel or any channel that I'm a part of or video that I'm a part of. So we will say our piece because we're just reporting the news, and that's it. That's the end of it. I saw the apology over on Tumblr. It was sent to me by some people from Twitter, and I don't really know what else to say besides I don't buy it. It seems kind of fake. David M., thank you very much for your very early super chat. Morning, one of the rare occasions I'm able to catch you live. So since you sent in £5, I'm assuming you're in the UK, so what is it, 12:48 in the afternoon? So you're at the end of your lunch break. So David, no matter what time in the world it is, thank you very much for finding Good Morning Pop Culture. I appreciate your support, my friend. Yes, Kamikaze Johnson, you're 100% correct. Did I hear that Halloween Horror Nights is coming to Universal Studios? I have not. I don't live anywhere near Universal Studios, as you guys already know that. So I don't really look what's coming. I mean, Ohio to Orlando is like a 20-hour drive. It's usually like a 16-hour drive if Phil drives because he drives pretty damn fast. When we went down to WrestleMania last year in Orlando, Phil went, I think, 90 the whole time in a giant Ford Expedition. So good on him. No one got hurt. The car didn't get any scratches or dings or dents, any damage, if you will. So thank you, Phil, for that. But he did break record time. So David M. is usually at work without the opportunity to tune in live. So are you working and lurking today? Don't worry, folks. For all you out there who liked the working and lurking mug idea, it's happening. I finally got some more equipment to produce world-class bullshitters material because I've gone through third parties to print and sell my materials, but sometimes I'll get pictures of, misprints or bad shipping. And to avoid all that, I'm just taking it upon myself to make the materials, to make the merchandise and ship them directly to you from me. That way you get the personal touch. You guys know that I care about the videos and all the content I produce, so I also care about the physical tangible things that have the show's name on it, my face, the other guy's faces. So it's just a quality control issue. But thank you for being patient. Let's see who else we got. Yeah, hashtag working and lurking. There we go. Oh, 2 days of holiday. Well, I hope you have a good one. Don't do anything you don't have to do. Well, it is early. It's midday over there. So I'll say sleep in, drink some beer, eat some food that you don't normally eat. Just, kick back and enjoy. Be an American for a day and don't do anything productive. Your favorite Bond movie is From Russia with Love, and your favorite Carpenter movie is The Thing. Well, Pete, you have fantastic taste. Last night's James Bond thing was a lot of fun. I was tired, I'll admit, because I'm working on the IndieGoGo behind the scenes, as well as getting in the right shape and doing yard work and all this other crap. So it kind of caught up to me last night. So I had one of those nights where it's like, please let me sleep. But we had a lot of fun talking about 007. I'd like to give a very special shout out to our friend and patron Trent. Trent's a great dude. He's our sixth bullshitter. If we ever need someone, he's always got our backs. And, it was always fun to have a discussion with him. It makes me want to go back and watch a lot of the Bond flicks. Yep. Disney is going to back. They're going back to the Hive of Scum and Villainy. We'll talk about that. We're only 11 viewers away from hitting that magical number of 200. I found that we're hitting those earlier and earlier. So thank you to everyone who makes sure that Good Morning Pop Culture is a part of their daily routine. I might put out a little poll on Twitter one of these days asking how you consume the show, working and lurking on the way to work, or, you just get up early to listen. I'm just curious. Opinions on Quentin Tarantino. I like some of the movies. I don't have anything against him as a person. I don't like Kill Bill, and I don't like Inglourious Bastards. Yeah, I said it, but I love Pulp Fiction, and I like Jackie Brown, and I loved Django, and The Hateful Eight was damn good, and Reservoir Dogs is good too. So I don't have anything against most of Tarantino's films. I'm just not a fan of Kill Bill 1 and 2 or Inglourious Bastards. You gave up on Howard Stern to listen to me? Thank you. Now that is a high compliment. I used to listen to Howard Stern on my way to high school as a kid, and I thought he was so funny. Then again, I was 14 or 15 years old at the time, so it just goes to show you how truly dumb you are at times. Well, all right. Well, yes, good morning from New Zealand. Well, thank you, Lewis. Now, we've hit number 200. We're past it, well past it. So let's talk about today's main story. By the way, I got a surprise. You know how I've been showing you derpy Star Wars images? Not necessarily just derpy toys, but I got a collectible that is so dumb that it's going to take the cake for the shittiest thing I've ever presented here on World Class Bullshitters. So, this comes from our friends. I can't, I can call all of you friends. I can call other channels we interact with friends, but I can't call certain websites friends, and Cinema Blend is one of them. So, Star Wars production designer confirms Tatooine was a part of an upcoming spin-off film. Right now, the future of the Star Wars franchise is a bit unclear. J.J. Abrams' untitled Star Wars Episode 9 has entered production, and Logan's James Mangold has been hired to make an undated Boba Fett film. But nothing is really officially set beyond that. Sadly, we don't fully know what's going on behind closed doors at Lucasfilm, but according to production designer Neil Lamont, one of the upcoming but stopped projects included a return to the legendary fictional planet Tatooine. Lamont told me, We were just starting to work on another Star Wars spin-off. And yeah, we're actually going to make our mark on Tatooine, which would have been interesting, and some other new galaxies. So hopefully, if that comes back, we'll get the chance to be able to do that further. So let's take this apart for a moment. First off, James Mangold's Boba Fett. Will it happen? Who knows? Things like this, articles, small little blurbs, kind of confirm these rumors that come out weeks or months earlier. Oh, they had this plan. Oh, these are on hold. Oh, these are canceled. Oh, these aren't happening. Do you remember, what was that, about a month ago? It's the will they, won't they type of thing. Every minute it's this is happening, this isn't happening. So we heard that there were all these spin-offs in production and that some were too far along. And now we're hearing that there was one going back to Tatooine that has been put on hold. So there are Star Wars anthology films on hold that may never see the light of day because of, wait for it, wait for it, a Kathleen Kennedy. You know, people say, why do you attack her? Why her? Well, she's the boss, guys. Everybody knows who's the head of Lucasfilm. We know who the head of Marvel is. When Marvel does stupid shit like this and falls apart, Kevin Feige, his name will be on my lips just as frequently as Kathleen Kennedy. But he hasn't failed me yet. Kathleen Kennedy's failed me for the last time. Kevithar1138, thank you very much. Have to miss the High Council viewing of the Star Wars Holiday Special, but wife told me she owes me. So she will watch both with me later. Evil laugh. Dude, don't do that to your wife. Look, I love Star Wars, and I hate the Star Wars Holiday Special. That's the one thing from Star Wars that I've never watched to completion. I don't like the musical numbers, so I skip through them. I basically watch the Boba Fett cartoon annually because, one, it's the first appearance of Boba Fett. Two, it's the only time in animation form where Han Solo is voiced by Harrison Ford, which is rare and funny. It's weird to think there was a time where Harrison Ford really didn't have the power that he has now. He was just Han Solo, and maybe you knew him as Bob Falfa from American Graffiti. I almost said American History X. Could you imagine American History X with Harrison Ford? Ugh. Or American Psycho with Harrison Ford? Those are weird alternate realities I don't want to live in. But yeah, the cartoon's about it for me. It's nice to see the deleted scenes from A New Hope where he talks to, was it Admiral or General Tag or Taggy, however you pronounce it, when he's in the hallway. Star Wars was a big deal back then, but it wasn't the cultural icon it truly is, or was. It was the biggest thing in the world at the time. It was like the Avengers in 2012. Big deal, big movie. But it hadn't truly permeated the popular society yet. So Kevithar, please don't do that to your wife, man. The Shadow of Loaf Nose. What a good name. I don't think I've ever read anything from you, so thank you very much. Good afternoon from the real-life Orwell's 1984/Fahrenheit 451 soy-based island, baby. I mean the UK. Hi. The Shadow Loaf Nose, thank you very much for your £5. I have heard quite a few things off-air from people. Now, I can't give names or go into too much detail, but I know what you guys are going through. And it's really bizarre how life imitates art. And I hope that it never gets that bad over here. I know, people are listened to and this and that. You can't deny it. You just hope it doesn't get so bad that the way it is in Europe, because wasn't that guy, Count Dankula, somebody in legal trouble because of a joke he made on the internet and he refuses to pay the fine? I just don't want to find anyone in that situation. It's stupid. It's a crazy way to live. And I actually picked up a new copy of Fahrenheit 451. I keep telling myself I want to read Ray Bradbury. I want to read some sci-fi and have some, internal debate with myself. Are we truly living in this world? How close are we to that? Maybe I'll do that for the channel next year. That could be something fun. Now you're thinking to yourself, I don't want you to review books. It's boring. Don't worry. I'm not going to review books. But if I pick up a book that was written over almost 60 years ago and I say, look how society is just like this, and look at how they're controlling our entertainment, you might find some entertainment in that yourself. So just keep it locked into the channel. But the Shadow Loaf Nose, good luck, and thank you for picking world-class bullshitters to spend your afternoon with. I would love the holiday special if The Rock played Chewbacca's dad. Well, The Rock would have been 6 years old. Yes, a 6-year-old Dwayne Johnson plays Chewbacca's father. Oh my god. Rugis, you haven't missed much. We just started. From what I heard, Lucas wasn't involved in the holiday special. It was all 20th Century Fox cashing in on the popularity of Star Wars. I've heard similar things to that. Why would you want to be involved with the Star Wars holiday special? Here's the difference between Lucas and current day Lucasfilm. Lucas learned his lesson, had the thing taken off TV, and it was never really distributed elsewhere. George Lucas understood the value of Star Wars, and he needed to keep it good and whole and valuable. And now we live in a world where Disney basically whores itself out for the holiday special every year, but puts it in theaters. So you have a comparable piece of entertainment come out every year. So he'd be the Pebble at the time. Damn right, jabroni. You're damn right. So this Star Wars production designer confirmation thing, to some it doesn't mean much, but to me it means there are so many confusing elements going on at Lucasfilm. Does anyone here watch It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, the Pepe Sylvia episode where Charlie's trying to connect the strings together? Who's Pepe Sylvia? Who's Pepe Sylvia? Blah, 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 blah. Carol in accounting. That's where Lucasfilm is right now. They can't tie the strings together. Like I said, you can criticize these movies the way you want. You can love them the way you want. You can criticize the prequels. But at least when George Lucas was making the prequels, there wasn't anything but a singular timeline. Episodes 1 to 2 to 3. You had your Clone Wars TV show, which didn't interfere with the production of the films or cause brand confusion. And then you ended with 3, and then you went back to the Clone Wars TV shows. A very basic, easy way to follow. Now it's like, well, I just saw The Last Jedi, and Solo's coming out. Well, wait, I didn't like either of those movies. Wait, this one's coming out. They're not doing this. What happened to the Boba Fett movie? What happened to this? What happened to that? Like the Riddler says, there's just too many questions. When you have too many questions, you create brand confusion and band confusion if your name's Yoko, but you create brand confusion, and that causes a lack of customer confidence or consumer confidence, if you will. There's a reason why you can go out into the store and see armies of Star Wars figures that just don't sell. I've been getting a lot of pictures from the UK, and I'm going to be collecting those and working on putting those together in a video for you very soon. Because a lot of our listeners out there are like, hey, Jeff, I live in X, Y, and Z, which is in America, and it's like, look at this. And I go, damn, Rose Tico's $12 in Tasmania. There's a reason she's not selling. It'll be interesting. I've heard the argument a lot, too, from people. Well, Jeff, maybe these toys will become super valuable down the road because nobody wanted them. I disagree. The reason that the vintage stuff is so valuable in high mint condition is, 1, it's old. 2, it's rarer. And 3, there's the nostalgia tax that that collectible store owners or dealers can charge. When you have that power to play on someone's heartstrings, you can get money out of them quite easily. So like if you go to the store and they got your favorite childhood toy, let's say it was Combat Belt Batman. There we go. Say that's your favorite toy, Combat Belt Batman, and they got one mint in the box, and you remember the time your grandma ran over it with the vacuum cleaner and his arm broke, and so your mom threw it away, and then she took you to Toys R Us, and you never got a new one. And no, I'm not talking from personal experience because my Combat Belt Batman is literally right in front of my face. He's fine. But my point is, when they have something you want and you feel for it, they can charge you any way they want. It could be an exorbitant amount of money, or you could get it on a good deal like I have at times. Disney's trying to do that and string you along, but instead of trying to charge you exorbitant amounts of money, they're trying to trick you into accepting bullshit and garbage and make that the new norm so they can get away with this stuff early. They're trying to normalize bad business behavior and entertainment with the Star Wars brand. Oh, the movies come out so frequently? Well, Star Wars does it, everyone else can. But it doesn't matter. Star Wars did it, everyone else can now. Oh, the actors and the directors and the writers are talking shit about you. Well, now that Star Wars did it, everybody can. It's a confusing time for everyone involved in the Star Wars franchise. Pete, I have copies of the Specialized Edition thanks to a listener. So thanks for the heads up. Our friend John sent me some, which, like I said earlier, completely legal to own too. If you own the Blu-rays, which I own the Blu-rays quite happily. I still prefer certain aspects of the Blu-ray cut. I'm actually considering asking Ivan Ortega to help me out by editing a few scenes from the special editions into the original cut or vice versa and have my own Jeff cut of Star Wars. Let me know if you guys would like to make any edits to Star Wars, and we'll see if we have, we'll compare notes. Cesaria Japan says the old stuff remains valuable because, the old stuff retains value because also people want it. Given how Disney has run Star Wars into the ground, new stuff will be a footnote joke. Footnote joke is correct. Like I said, valuable, nostalgia, and desire, rarity. They're never going to remake a vintage Han Solo big head on a 12-back card. They'll remake Rose Tico. Actually, what they'll do, okay, so if you know anything about action figures, if they'll sometimes repack a figure later down the road if it was either popular or there's enough demand or they make a change. So, for example, the new vintage collection, which what vintage collection means are that the shorter 3 3/4 inch figures, and they're coming on a vintage card back, which means they look like the original toys. So they got the big picture of the actor. Those things usually sell incredibly well. What they did for this new line is they took the toys from Walmart that didn't sell, they repacked them, and so you can go to your local Walmart and you can get the $4 version in the black and red box or the $15 version in the vintage card, but it's the same toy. What you going to pick? Well, unless you're an old man collector, and the funny thing is, if you're an old man collector, you're not going to pick the card because you don't have any emotional attachment to Jyn Erso or Rey or the new Stormtrooper, so you just don't buy anything. And maybe you're like me and you've been shit on for months, so you just, pass it up completely. Billy Ritchie, when you make your Harrison Ford movie, make sure Dion has a cameo of him riding a horse. You bring that up, Billy. I actually got myself the colorist yesterday, so I worked out the rate, and that's going to be happening soon. I'm so excited. I'm working on the image to promote it right now, and it looks pretty damn good. I got the likeness of Harrison Ford down. It's funny, it's cool, and I know it can be a huge hit, and we can make this into a movie. In many ways, like I said, it's the story of all of us. There's a lot of Star Wars angst that we all feel, and this story will help you laugh at the situation. But yeah, I would love to put horses in it. And if we can't get horses, because who knows about the movie rights, we may sell off the movie rights. I may do it. I don't know. But I will make sure that with the money, I will hire a team of professional horse riders to circle Dion's apartment for hours. Can I make a Tusk parody where Dion turns into a horse? I love that idea. That's the reason why we always jokingly talk about the World Class Bullshitters skit show, because little things like that would work great in like 5-minute snippets. And that's where I'd like the channel to go ultimately with the other guys. I'll have this morning show and stuff, and then we go off and we film a skit show for Adult Swim or whatever channel it would be on, and just have these like high production value jokes that people watch for 5 minutes. That could be that's the future I like to see for the channel. You put Dion on a robot horse, that wouldn't be scary for him. Oh my god, anything that's that big would scare him. I don't know how we're friends on that big. Get a guy who made Fanboys. I know the family. He was a guy. I will get anyone involved. Like I said, this IndieGoGo is the next step for us, and we want to make it big, giant, the biggest of all time, so we can then make the next step into actual viewable entertainment. We just need the resources to get a studio and do stuff like that. Believe me, we don't plan on going anywhere anytime soon, and we're going to evolve and grow, all the while, not alienating the fan base we have. I have no intention of quitting the podcast or this or anything like that ever. We could be making movies all the time. I'd get up early on set, record this show, and then go to work. I have no problem, like I'm doing now. After we record the show, getting to work at the art table and getting them pages done, as Ethan would say. Miles Hicks, my cousin. For 7 and 9, they should have flipped the rebellion and empire, have the rebellion or Senate army hunt down the last of the empire. Thoughts? Not a bad idea whatsoever. Now, if they would have changed the table, so it wouldn't have been 30 years post Return of the Jedi. If they would have made 7 through 9, not a couple years, but like at the end of the 90s, I would have definitely loved to have seen Han, Luke, and Leia going on the hunt for the remnants of the Empire, and they uncover, plans for another super weapon, and there's some dark side power. There's no Sith Lords, but there's some dark side power. And maybe Luke gets interfered with from the Force through Palpatine or something like that. And you could actually see Obi-Wan help. That could be cool. But I do like the idea of the rebels in power hunting down the Empire, the remnants of the Empire. Because it's the same old shit. Rebel Alliance being beat down by the Empire 2.0. That's what we're getting with Disney Star Wars. Same old shit. But Miles, I like your idea quite a bit. And you could have even had like a what's the word I want to use? Not an allegory, because allegory would be for a historical thing, but the underlying theme could be how those who are oppressed came to power and become the oppressors and are guilty of the same things. That could be Leia's story, her crisis internally about, are we becoming the Empire? And you could have Han just doing his thing, leading people in the battle, doing the spaceship stuff, and that's fun. And then Luke is more introverted, trying to find his way and with the Force and trying to build a new Jedi Order. You could have given all three characters, they could have been together, they could have been all doing their own thing at the same time, and given them more to do. I feel like Princess Leia is useless in the last two movies. She's a joke, and that's no dig at Carrie Fisher. Just, really, was she that important in The Force Awakens? No, she was just to go hug Han Solo, go get our son, and that's about it. So, thank you, Miles. The Pui, morning angle. Swan's loose. That won't me. Dude, the Pui, thank you very much for your very generous super chat. But thank you for reminding me of Hot Fuzz. If you guys could see my face, it just lit up because I love Hot Fuzz so damn much. Like I said to Mauler and the Dishonored Wolf the other night, which, by the way, if you haven't checked out that stream, huge success, tons of views. We got out there and we really got into this Star Wars thing from another angle. It was nice to have a discussion with somebody that I'd never met before, the Dishonored Wolf, who was very well versed in the universe, the lore, and who knew movies quite well. And like I said yesterday, it was great that they were both friends because it added a different dynamic. It wasn't just three strangers coming together to talk. It was straight up two really good internet buddies and somebody that I'm associated with. And I felt, very comfortable with those guys. But the Pui, we talked about Hot Fuzz, and if I had the time, I wouldn't mind getting back into bed with, another gallon of coffee, watching Hot Fuzz, and then drawing my page. But I'm on a schedule, a time crunch, if you will. Castellan, I'm sorry. Yeah. Castellan Fry, excuse me. I keep wanting to say Castilian or whatever that is, the different type of Spanish Castilian, but it's Castellan. Jeff, I wanted to commend you on how you handled Mundane Matt after his unraveling. I don't like him, but your approach to it is respectable. Thank you, Fry. My whole thing with Mundane Matt, and I don't believe in bullying him or harassing him. I just, from a fan, like I said on the High Council, from the fan standpoint, I stopped watching a long time ago. And if you listen to how we handled him on the High Council, we each took our turn, so he had one-on-one time to defend himself. I just don't operate like that in real life. I've seen the kill stream. I saw how it went down. I'm not here to criticize those guys whatsoever. I wouldn't feel good about myself if when Ethan said what he said, and I'm coming and going, yeah, bitch, and all that stuff. Nah, it may have been good for a laugh, but at the end of this, with every video we put out, all the live streams, I always have to feel good about what I've produced. And I do. I stand by my words about my James Bond comments or this or that or the other. I don't say shit because it's popular and funny and then go back and feel guilty about it. I don't like those feelings. That's just not who I am as a person. I think you guys all pick up on that. And I'm going to talk about the Mundane Matt apology in just a moment. Like I said, I'm not hurt like, oh, I'm hurt that a friend lied to me. I just feel like we wasted time because he lied to us directly, well, almost to our faces. I mean, he can't see us, but you get what I mean. He lied to us on the High Council, and I just thought, wow, his words have no meaning, and I have no place for him in my digital life. Now, if I ever saw him in person, would I call him out or attack him? Hell no. I don't even think I'd look twice. I'd go, look, it's Mundane Matt, and walk away. So thank you, Castellan Fry. I appreciate the kind words for the way I handled the situation. Like I said, I don't take pleasure in watching somebody fall apart. I know that everyone says, oh, everyone loves a car wreck or a train wreck or all those types of crashes. I'm just focused on me. I have all of you out there. We have almost 400 people viewing this early in the morning. Yeah, I know people would want to hear me rant and rally on the guy all morning, but I would just be spinning my wheels. That's not who I am. That's not who we are as a channel. We talk about entertainment, and Mundane Matt's not entertaining. Geek Chorus, thank you very much. Grand Muff Jeff, you like big or small head Han figure? Ooh, I like this question. I prefer the large head Han Solo figure, Geek Chorus, because I think it actually looks a little more like Harrison Ford. I'm not saying it looks dead on him, but I have the figure. I have two of them, actually. One standing next to Chewbacca, one sitting down next to Inspector Gadget. I'll go big-headed Han Solo because it reminds me of Harrison Ford. Let's see. We had a few more pop up. Jeff the Iron Wolf. Jeff, got my tickets to Horror Hound. Be seeing you. Jeff the Iron Wolf. I'll be seeing you too, my friend. Anyone who's going to join us at Horror Hound, just shoot me a message. I know a lot of you guys are patrons. Just come to the table or shoot us a message and say what day you're going to be there so we can expect you, because there will be times where I'm going to step away to try to meet a couple people for interviews or check the floor. I'm not trying to sell art this time, so that's a nice change of pace. But what I am trying to do is, build awareness for the channel, spread the word, give out cards and flyers and all that stuff. But if any of you guys are making a special trip to come meet us, just want you to know, if we're away from the table, if I'm away from the table, I'll return really fast, and don't think, oh, I got drunk and I'm hanging out in the bathroom or something stupid. No, I will be back. Just let me know when you're planning on heading back or heading to the table, and I'll make sure I'm there for you, Jeff. Benny Warren, stop everything. This is really important. Captain Phasma has an audiobook. What kind of story do you think is in there? Probably a dumb story, Benny. Probably a story about why she chose metallic armor and how her father told her she'd never be a soldier, and why she has something to prove to the First Order, and how maybe Hux got her pregnant, but she wanted to keep the baby, but Snoke said it wasn't good for morale on Starkiller Base. So she's jaded and hurt, and that's why her and Hux just can't be together anymore. I don't know, honestly. I have no clue what's in that damn book. I'm going to go with that. That's about as believable as half the shit. If you would have told me 3 years ago, hey, man, the next Star Wars movie is going to kill off Han, Luke, and Leia's going to fly around like Mary Poppins in outer space, I would have said, oh, no, you're lying. So if you tell me now that there's a story about Captain Phasma's paternity test, I'll believe it. I'll believe anything is possible with Disney Star Wars. Thank you, Benny. Wild Warlock, welcome back, man. Phasma's book will be hyped to be the next best thing, but only be 2 pages worth of 2 pages worth and kind of shiny. It's gonna be something, dude. She is not a good character. Captain Phasma is a trailer, like the Dishonored Wolf said. She's great for the trailer, and that's it. She doesn't bring anything new to the story. She doesn't have any mystique or aura about her. Like, say what you want about Boba Fett, and a lot of people seem to have a lot of bad shit to say about him nowadays. At least he had a coolness to him. Who is he? Well, he figured out how to capture Han Solo. Darth Vader respected him. He actually spoke up to Darth Vader in a movie where if anyone said anything, Vader choked you to death. He's like, what if he doesn't survive? He's no good to me dead and all this stuff. Vader just, they handle each other well. Boba Fett looks cooler than Captain Phasma too. Captain Phasma's just a big fucking silver stormtrooper. I know Boba Fett was originally designed to be, a different type of stormtrooper armor and all that stuff. Believe me, I know all this behind the scenes shit. Everything. I read it all. Twice. On Tuesday. No, but Captain Phasma just doesn't bring anything. She can sell some toys. And I still believe that originally, at one point in time, the character design was probably meant to be a dude. And they probably just hired Gwendolyn Christie to try to get people on, like, oh man, it's a chick planner. That's so cool. And then you drop the ball. Make her this badass fighter who's unstoppable. Then you can maybe elevate your character. But alas, it's just a joke, much like all the other characters in your damn movies, JJ. The hunky chunky funky monkey says, Matt is a snake. That is all. Also, Woomba. Thank you, the hunky chunky funky monkey. I appreciate that. Hippo fart. Let's see. Yeah, Captain Phasma was all hype. Yeah, but yeah, Matt the Snake thing. Like I said, we're not going to turn it into drama. We won't be covering it tonight on the channel. And it's not that I'm trying to defend the guy. Other people, like I said, other people are taking so much pleasure in it. I just don't care. I got other stuff to do. He will do what he wants to do, and he will suffer the consequences. It's all on him at this point. He can't blame other people for his failures or his, like other people can't take credit for his success either. He did what he did, and he has to live by it. That's how life is. You make a mistake, you have to own it. And so far, he really hasn't. Yeah, John's right. Captain Phasma was a wasted opportunity. You think that, with all this pro-feminist stuff in Star Wars today, they would actually write a good, compelling character. Let's take a second and think about the female characters in Disney Star Wars and think who was actually good. Princess Leia, not as good as she used to be. Kind of a joke. I think hers is the most tragic because she went from the best female character in almost all of entertainment, in my opinion. I'd say she's the best, to a joke. Rey, Mary Sue character, no faults, no character development, no growth. Very boring, very plain. Nothing interesting about her. Rose Tico is a joke. I know EVS loves her. Cool, man. You take your little potato sack honey and you guys go eat pie in the sky together. But she's a shit character. Admiral Holdo, don't like her. And then you have Jyn Erso, who's okay. Jyn Erso is probably the best one they've created in the Disney universe. And then you have, who else? Kira, not very good either. So Jyn Erso is the least offensive, followed by Kira, and then everything from the other movies is just terrible. The Rookie Critic says, "Morning, Jeff. Working on a video called YouTuber Appreciation on the High Council, and it should be done by this weekend." Thank you, man. I appreciate that, Rookie Critic. If you will send me the link over Facebook, or if you tweet it to us, I'll retweet it, or I'll make sure Nick retweets it, and we can get the word out there about your channel. And I appreciate that you appreciate us, world-class bullshitters in the High Council, Ethan and Jeremy. We love doing it Tuesday. We don't just tell you, Tuesday's the best night of the week. No, normally Tuesday's a shitty day. You get through Monday, and then Tuesday it feels desolate and boring. But with the High Council, I love it. It's going to be on the channel here next week. We're going to have tons of stuff to talk about. It's just really nice to get together with my internet friends and shoot the shit for a couple hours. And that the fact that all of you love it just makes it even sweeter. So thank you, the Rookie Critic. By the way, folks, there's a big storm in my area. So if the internet cuts in and out, there's a storm. And if you start hearing random shit, again, it's that storm. K2SO was cool. Oh, yeah, K2SO was the best Disney Star Wars creation. I'm just going strictly by female characters. And I guess we got to throw L337. Is she the worst? Holdo and L337 belong in a certain section of hell together where they just melt forever. Best Disney female characters are animated. Like Rebels are not. Hera, Ahsoka, Sabine are all strong female characters without being over-the-top feminists. Ahsoka gets, my thumbs up of approval. I've liked that character since... See, I don't remember the Clone Wars Season 1 being terrible. I just remember liking the show because it was 10 years ago. I know I can remember shit, like I remember going to McDonald's to get the Power Ranger Pogs, or I can remember commercials about the James Bond Jr. toys and oddly specific things, but I just remember the feeling I had towards Clone Wars as a whole, that I liked it, and I remember watching it on Friday nights in college before I started dating, so... Clone Wars is fine in my book. I gotta go back. Yeah, L337 is stomach churning. Yes. That is the nicest thing you can say about the character. That is the nicest thing you can say about the character. It's funny. I see somebody talking about Jyn Erso getting chokeslammed. If I can take you back to my headspace to 2016, I was so angry and pissed off at The Force Awakens. So then we get to Rogue One, and I'm thinking, okay. And then Jyn Erso pops up in that thing, and she starts fighting these rebels and the troopers and shit. And I'm like, okay, here we go, another Mary Sue. And then she got chokeslammed by K2SO, and I went, oh, this is a different movie. And I enjoyed it. Yeah, Pogs, those were the days. Pogs, man, talk about a dumb thing. I never got the appeal of Pogs. I had them because they were popular. My mom was great, still is great to this day. But bless her, she would buy me all the stuff I wanted. And then sometimes she would figure out what was popular, so she'd try to get it for me too as like a bonus gift. And I always talk about my mom and how great she was. That was just another sweet thing. But she got me Pogs, and I never got into those. What did they come out like 93, 4, 5-ish? I had a Super Nintendo, and I had my Power Ranger toys. And that's all I cared about. Like if I was a kid, if I was 5 years old, and they're like, Jeff, you can save 3 things in this house fire. What are you taking? Well, I would have shoved all my Power Rangers and tore the Shuttle Zord, grabbed the other Megazord, and then my Super Nintendo with a game in the cartridge, and that's what I would have saved. Thankfully, that never happened to us. But in all honesty, Pogs, I just never got the appeal. They were cardboard discs. No, I'm not trying to say Porgs. I'm saying Pogs. Those were they were just stupid. They were just cardboard discs that you would slam and people would collect them. I had a whole set of Spider-Man ones from the animated series. And then I had some Power Ranger ones. And then you had the Slammer, which was a big hard plastic disc. I just never I never got it. Yeah, I do have one of those cool moms. Even to this day, she's cool. She's real supportive of what I'm doing here with the channel, and it's successful now. So I try to do stuff for her. Like we went out to breakfast the other morning, and I was like, "I got it, mom," stuff like that. So, um, yeah, our relationship is strong. There's never been like when I watch these movies, like, oh, they had a falling out with their mother or their parents. I'm like, I don't ever see that happening to me. I'm not one of those people that would be like, I would forget all the stuff that she did. I don't remember Scan Command. Metal Slammer. Okay. You got to remember, man, I'm going on like 22 years old memory of something I wasn't really interested in. I can still tell you all about like the little mini Power Ranger figures that came with the Thunder Zords that would clip into their heads and the little crystals that you could clip into the chest, but they never really did much. I remember that shit, but I couldn't tell you much about Pogs. The Rookie Critic. You're awesome, Jeff. You guys embody passion for pop culture and entertainment. I'll watch this and send a link on Facebook later. Working that subway life. You know, the Rookie Critic, don't ever be ashamed working that subway life, my friend. One of my friends was doing the subway thing when we were in college, and now he's a really successful salesman. So look at it like this. I worked in fast food, and it sucked. I didn't like it. And when I worked at 7-Up, I hated that too. But this is my advice I always give to people, or just, kind words. You're only there for a short period of time, and you'll learn your life lessons, you'll get your life experience, your job experience, and then you'll move on to the next thing. So your subway life isn't forever, man. You keep it up. You can do this for a career. You can do all kinds of things. If you know what you're talking about and you have a platform and you're interesting enough, people will come. So if you need help, you just let me know. Cesare Japan says, random fact, Pogs were invented by kids in Hawaii. Oh. I was not aware of that. Well, there's a lot of, you know what? People keep talking about Pogs, Porgs, Pogs, Porgs. Would you like to see something dumb that I had lined up for today? Because we're going to do bad comic book art. We're going to do all that stuff. I'm not changing, taking away the things you love. I just wanted to add something. So I apologize in advance, but take a look at your screen right now if you can. And I'll wait. I will wait. Steve Allen invented the Pog. Is that a Simpsons joke? Pogs can't be worse than the Garbage Pail Kids. I remember those cards. I wasn't alive for when they were popular, but I'm friends with a guy. He runs a business called Don't Eat the Gum. And it's two guys. One name's Kevin. The other guy's name goes by the name Z. And those are some cool dudes. I see them at conventions. Love them to death. Fun guys. Going to see them at Horror Hound. Genuine dudes. But, man, they got Garbage Pail stuff all over. And I hate Garbage Pail Kids. Anthony Gates, thank you very much for your very generous super chat. Are you an Adam Sandler fan? I was. Let me tell you the Adam Sandler stuff I enjoyed. I mean, I'm 29, so Adam Sandler was really popular when I was in grade school. Actually, Adam Sandler was on SNL before I was in grade school. So I grew up watching like Opera Man and stuff like that, and the Red Hooded Sweatshirt. I remember all that stuff as a kid because the only rule about staying up my mom had was on the weekdays for school or on the weekdays in general, you go to bed early. On the weekends, you can stay up and do whatever you want. That's kind of the way I live my life now. Well, with the channel, work at night on the weekends, but it's fun, actually. Point is, I knew about Adam Sandler as a kid. I loved Billy Madison. I loved Happy Gilmore. I loved The Wedding Singer. I still do. I like that for as cheesy of a, rom-com it is. I like the 80s setting. I like the references. I enjoy that. I like Big Daddy. 50 First Dates is okay. And That's My Boy is passable at best. So the older stuff of Adam Sandler, I did like. I still laugh at Billy Madison when they sing the song, with the clown, "Hey kids, it's me. I bet you thought that I was dead." I love that stuff. I still hold a very special place in my heart for it. Or in Happy Gilmore, "The Price is Wrong, bitch." All that stuff is funny to me. And I don't look back, unlike a lot of people with Eddie Murphy, I don't look back on their old movies and then think about how they suck nowadays. Therefore, I don't like the old stuff. I take it for what it was and how I felt about it then, and if I'm still entertained now. And Adam Sandler was fun to me. So I can't say I'm a current Adam Sandler fan, and I don't dislike him as a person. If I ever had a chance to meet him, I'd ask him some questions about stuff. He seems nice enough and approachable. He doesn't seem like a massive asshole. But that's really the extent of my Adam Sandler fandom. I liked some of his movies back in the 90s and very few in the new millennium. And nowadays, he's not even on my radar. I tried to watch, what was it? Not The Getaway. The one he was with David Spade, the vacation movie where he's a spy or some dumb shit. I tried to watch it. I turned it off. I tried to look at the Magnificent Six or whatever it was called, the Sinful Seven, some shit. The one he did the parody of a Western on Netflix. I tried watching that. Again, I turned it off. He's not funny anymore. He doesn't get, his humor doesn't speak to me anymore. Jack and Jill, fuck no. No, thank you. Governor Tarkin. Recognize your foul stench when I was brought on board. Random facts. Porgs were made by kids in China for 50 cents a day. Oh, man. Those poor children. If the lead paint wasn't enough, these fucking porgs were. I think it's safe to say the ridiculous six. Thank you, Dion. The ridiculous six. Well, I think it's safe to say that porgs were a big failure on the part of Disney. They tried to sell you the porgs were going to be this next big thing with The Last Jedi, but the lack of quality for the film kind of just, overran. Everyone remembered how much they hated the movie and how big of a douchebag Rian Johnson was, and the porgs just kind of disappeared. Now, the reason I brought this up is that these are porg bookends, and they're $143. They were originally to be sold for $159.99. That's the manufactured suggested retail price. But now they're already 10% off for $143. I foresee these being sold for pennies eventually. But look what you can do with your porg bookend set. You can get 2 retarded chicken bird things, and you can put your Star Wars The Complete Saga or your copy of Rogue One or The Last Jedi. I guess there's no love for The Force Awakens, which is smart. But I love showing dumb, useless Star Wars merchandise. There are just some Star Wars products that, to me, have no value whatsoever. Most of them include Rey, Finn, Rose, Tico, or Kylo Ren. But I mean, look at these sad things. They're just dumb. They're annoying. They're shrill. The greatest thing to ever come from a porg was that GIF where it steps on the lightsaber and then it gets killed. That's it. And the porg cooking video, which is criminally underviewed here on this channel. We did an epic mealtime parody where that was the first time I went out into the field to film something, and it was fun. I want to kick it. Plastic wasted. I don't even think these are made of plastic. I think these are made of resin. Made of highest quality polystone. Weighted to grip and keep your books upright. Optional bookend extender for holding taller items. Hand-painted, individually numbered. Oh, wait. Here's a typo. Poured bookend set. Thank you, Big Bad Toy Store. I love this website, and, they would never give us a sponsorship deal, probably because we, the things we have to say about Disney toys. But this site's dangerous for me because it's like, what do they got? Oh my God, look, it's on sale. This giant Joker figure. And I have the original Joker figure. Or you talk about the giant Batman, all this shit. It's like, I have these things. I want more. Childhood. Ha ha ha. Adam Wofford says, Jenny XJ9 is the best droid. Long days, pleasant nights. Ew. Whenever anyone talks about like pleasure droids or shit like that, I instantly think of you ever heard of Heavy Metal 2000, where they go on the space station and they offer like this weird like sex fish to the guy, and he thinks about sticking it in this sex fish. It's I don't know. There are some weird deprived parts of Star Wars or science fiction, and I'm okay with that as long as it doesn't touch Star Wars. Star Wars has a little different thing for me. Would I buy a big-breasted Captain America action figure? If you show me the link, I will buy one right now on air. Every time I put porg into my phone, it autocorrects to porn. I need to reevaluate my life. No, you don't. Your life is good. You don't need to be searching porg at all. Your adult material, hey, that's on you, man. You do you, you enjoy it. But don't ever willingly look up porgs. Ew. That's all I can say is ew. Heavy metal as a whole is awesome. I know I've said this before on other shows, and I don't know who listens to everything, but I hate watch heavy metal quite frequently. There's something I love and hate about it. I love the grimy shittiness, but at the same time, I hate the grimy shittiness. So Heavy metal is a weird thing for me. I've considered getting the Blu-ray. If they'd ever do a 4 master cut or 4K remaster where you can like see the thumbprints on the poorly animated features, I might watch it. Yeah, hate watches, right, dude. Don't buy, resist. Uh, I don't know. It doesn't even exist on 4K yet. So, sorry, you're looking at Gentle Giant Joker. That's not what you guys clicked on. How about a reason why everyone watches the show? And this is real. I didn't Photoshop this, guys. Mention why heavy metal wasn't put on DVD for years. You mean because of the licensing issues with the music? I remember renting that in, was I in late grade school? I rented heavy metal because, I wanted to watch animated boobies. I'll never forget this, the day I broke my toe. I fell off my bed and broke my toe. I was in so much pain. I had to go down and eat dinner. And then I came back with a broken toe and a full belly, and I watched heavy metal. It was fun. Geek Chorus, if you lived in the Star Wars galaxy, what would you fly? I want to say the Falcon because the coolness of Han Solo, but in reality, it's a piece of shit. It's like a Pinto. I guess I would want to fly. I'd like to fly an X-Wing, but if I really could do anything I want in Star Wars Galaxy, I'd want to be like a rich, person to have like a droid fly my, nice luxury ship, kind of like Padme's ship in Episode 2. Give me one of those and have a droid fly me around the galaxy, and I just, go from planet to planet, tearing shit up. That's what I would choose to do. So there we go. Stilt Girl, Liefeld strikes again. Yes. So today's bad comic book art is brought to you by Rob Liefeld, who seems like a really nice, genuine dude, but he just made a mistake on this. Now, I've been guilty. Like, I draw almost. Now I'm getting back into it. So, when you draw, sometimes I draw women. Like, I usually start with the action line, which is the spine. Then I build the shoulders and the hips. And then I kind of go from there. And sometimes, if you don't pay attention, you can make the lower legs way too long and they look like this. This is a mistake. I hope she's leaning forward. I don't know what she's doing, but I have a website that I go to for bad comic book art, and I saw this one, and this was going to be yesterday's, but then I thought, no, we'll look at the derpy faces, and we'll have a good laugh at the derp. Let's see. She also has long, thick legs. She's something all right. Shadow Loaf Nose, thank you very much. She's got legs. She knows how to use them. ZZ Top. Yeah. I'm glad you clarified that it was the ZZ Top song and not the Kid Rock cover from the early 2000s. God, I hate Kid Rock. Kid Rock seems like an all right dude. I could hang out with him, but I couldn't listen to his fucking music. Now, on the flip side, I don't think I could ever hang out with Limp Bizkit, but I can tolerate some of their older music. But yeah, she does have long legs, and not in the Stacy Keebler way. She's just... I don't know. I'm just looking at this. I'm confused. I'm very confused. Please get her a physical therapist. She has serious lordosis. Oh, okay. Heavy Metal was held ransom by John Candy. He refused to sign off on the release. It didn't come out until after he died. Oh, okay. I didn't realize he held them up on the home video. I always just assumed it was the music because, they have like Sammy Hagar and all these well-known. I think Ozzy Osbourne records a song for Heavy Metal. Man, that's well, John Candy's still my number 3 celebrity I'd bring back from the grave if I had that power. Number 1's Chris Farley. Number 2 is Phil Hartman. Number 3 is John Candy. I know people say, well, Chris Farley was on drugs and stuff and did it to himself. Yes, I know. I'm not trying to give him a pass, but he was funny as shit, and I would love to see where the world of comedy is right now. Phil Hartman was murdered, and that's sad. He seemed like a really good guy. There's, like I said before, there's a stand-up comedian who called him asking for help, and he, there's a message, at least the guy used to have it, where Phil Hartman's like, you can get through this, that, and the other, and he's real supportive and helped the guy out. So it's in those quieter moments that you learn what kind of people, someone really is, what kind of person they truly are. And so Phil Hartman seemed like good people. And then John Candy, you just kind of loved him. But I didn't know that. Anthony Gates, are you a Harrison Ford fan? Anthony Gates, yes, I am. He's my favorite actor. Um, I don't know what I thought that was a foregone conclusion on the channel. I love Harrison Ford's acting. Han Solo, Indiana Jones, John Book, Dr. Richard Kimball, the President, Jack Ryan. He's just awesome. He is the unsung action hero. Like if you look at a list of action heroes, you're always going to see Stallone, Schwarzenegger, guys like that. But I think Harrison Ford needs to be on that list because Indiana Jones could take them. Indiana Jones would find a way to beat Rambo. Indiana Jones could find a way to beat all those guys. You know, he's as good as McClane in many ways. He's more interesting, not more interesting, but he's as interesting out in the field as he is, in the office. He's got a lot going on both places, and you're thinking, well, in the office, he's boring. No, it's really sleeping with his students and stuff like that. So there's different layers to Indiana Jones that makes him a great character. But yeah, Harrison Ford, I remember as a kid, my mom took me to see What Lies Beneath with Michelle Pfeiffer, and Harrison Ford was the bad guy. And I remember going to the bathroom and walking out, and there were these old ladies all like just standing outside of the thing. They're like, I can't believe Harrison Ford was the bad guy. And I'm thinking to myself, neither can I. And this is the first time in my life that I remember Harrison Ford playing the villain of a movie, and it kind of blew me away. But he is my my favorite actor. He's an actor's actor. Can you imagine a Candy Farley buddy cop movie? Holy shit, that'd be amazing. Like Only the Lonely, but good. And Only the Lonely, he plays a cop. That's the only Candy cop movie I could think of off the top of my head. Oh, you'd bring back Harold Ramis. I'd bring back Harold Ramis if I was guaranteed a Ghostbusters 3 in 2005. Yeah, but stilt woman here. Stilt woman, excuse me. Stilt whammon, according to Jeremy. Al Pacino is your favorite actor, Walter. Excellent choice. Al Pacino. I love Scarface. Scarface is a top 25 movie for me. I like the story of the corruption. I got all the power and then I'm corrupted and shit like that. So I love a good, as much in real life as I enjoy a great redemption story on film, I love to see a good fall from power. That's interesting to me. Still Woman is Bay. Oh, Nothing But Trouble. John Candy played a cop. I fucking hate Nothing But Trouble. Who is your waifu? Sorry if that's been asked before. What is a waifu, Barbarella? If somebody can tell me, I'll answer that question. I don't mind answering questions for you guys. I just don't know what that means. Scissors be timber? God damn it, Lando. The Ghostbusters game counts as Ghostbusters 3 in my opinion. Well, I bought that game the first day it came out. I consider it Ghostbusters 3 as well. Oh, favorite character to fap to. I don't have a favorite character to fap to, sadly. Sorry, guys. Oh, waifu is a woman you'd marry if you could. I mean, some of the actresses I like, I think, are already married. So, like, Kelly Brook, who I think is hot, is married, or at least with some dude. Sofia Vergara is married. I don't know. Favorite female character. Disregard those who tell you only have to have one. I mean, are we going by like who I find like really hot, or are we just talking about like who I enjoy as an actual character? Because I know it sounds repetitive, but like Princess Leia is an awesome character. I just don't find her attractive. Some people are like, oh man, Carrie Fisher in that gold bikini. I'm just like, there are other women from movies that I'm just like, yeah, like the Bond girls overall are much better than Star Wars. We know that The Rock is his waifu. Rock is my hero. I'll give you that one. I was watching a Rock promo this morning before we started the show. Sometimes it helps me get the energy up. Sometimes 4 cups of coffee won't do it, but the electricity of The Rock and the millions and millions of The Rock's fans is. How do I think an Indiana Jones Batman crossover would go? Probably a dumpster fire, to be honest. Like, Batman, it would have to be 1939 Batman. So, with the purple gloves and the Bob Kane artwork. And then Indiana Jones would just be like, what the hell are you? I think Indiana Jones would figure out who the hell he was. I've never seen Battlestar Galactica, so I cannot answer your question. I'm sorry. Slave Leia is as hot as it gets. I prefer Cloud City Leia if I have to pick one. I think Carrie Fisher's the cutest in Empire Strikes Back. Maybe the hard living took a toll on her by Return of the Jedi, but when I look at her in Empire, it still seems like there's some life in her eyes. Yes, I'm a black coffee drinker. Straight up. No cream, no sugar. Now, Michelle Pfeiffer, Anne Hathaway. Ooh. I'm going to go with Michelle Pfeiffer because Anne Hathaway, while I think looks great, she seems very unlikable. And that's very important to me. Because if you want somebody that's just pretty and terrible to deal with, just look at a picture. It's the same thing. You got to like these people. So, Centurion Rex, thank you. The Doom Eternal stuff, I saw the Demons Are Mortally Challenged joke. I thought it was funny. Then somebody brought it to my attention that they're owned by Bethesda, the people I swore to never purchase a game from. So I guess I have to stand by my word because I hated Castle Wolfenstein, the new Colossus, so much in their goddamn politics. So I had to swear it off. I have to be a man of my word. It looks cool though, man. That game looks great graphically. I don't have a super powerful PC, so I couldn't play it, 4K or 10K or every K possible, all the Ks. Phil does, because Phil traded his right arm and his spleen for a new computer. I don't, though. I need both of my arms to draw and do this work, so I'm dealing with a little laptop. Maybe down the road I'll get an Xbox One X or something that's like super powerful to play it in 4K. Ooh. Who needs Indiana Jones when we got a live action Dora the Explorer? We're going to be talking about that tonight on World Class Bullshitters. That Dora the Explorer image just makes me laugh, and that's something you got to have the other guys here for, because I can just go, it looks dumb, but you got to hear how Dion takes the situation. Let's see. You might use those shit K-cups, but at least you don't fornicate your coffee. Yeah, I don't at all. Okay, so Machine Games made the new Wolfenstein. Id still handles Doom. Well, okay, I own Doom 3. I guess I can give Doom, the new one, a chance. Doom Eternal. I just don't have time for gaming right now. This year's gaming list, I want Red Dead. That comes out the week after my birthday. I want Spider-Man. That comes out like in 2 weeks or 3 weeks. I want Super Smash Brothers. And then there's a whole list of Nintendo Switch games that I'd like Mega Man, Donkey Kong, Kirby. Yeah, I just said Kirby. I would like a copy of Mario Kart, Mario Odyssey. I beat Zelda. Not 100%, but still love that game. You wouldn't like it. I mean, if you could live stream Nintendo games, then maybe I could find a way to make it, like a business thing. But until then, no. Maybe I'll live stream Spider-Man, though, for you guys, because I have read, like I said, almost all the issues of Spider-Man from 1 to 700 and something. And I have knowledge of the character. I knew when they showed Mr. Negative Martin Lee, I was like, oh, I know where they're going with this story arc. So kind of interested. Let's see. Did I swear off buying Bethesda or playing at all? Whoever made Wolfenstein pissed me off, so I said I'll never buy one of their games again. Yeah, there are a crap load of good games coming out. Speaking of crap load of good, let's get this image off the screen. That's gross. I mean, one game I do enjoy, but I don't enjoy it enough to buy, and Dion, if he's in the chat, he'll understand this. I love to go up to Michigan with Dion and play Call of Duty because we'll sit in front of the TV for like hours and hours and just play Call of Duty and not really say much to each other. We'll drink some beer and we'll just be like, yeah, good kill. Yeah, you got it, dude. And it's just like the most basic discussion possible. There's a lot of grunting. It's like we're hanging out with Tim the Toolman Taylor half the time. It's like, huh? That's it. Or me screaming, damn it! Because you don't throw your grenade blindly and it doesn't kill anybody, and then you get sniped or some shit. Like, I enjoy that for the fun aspect, but I don't really do that too much either. Which Call of Duty, whatever the newest one is, Dion buys them all each year. So like when I go up for New Year's, he'll have, what is that, Black Ops 3 or 4 or whatever the hell it is. He'll have it and we'll play it on PS4. Maybe I'll live stream us playing it. So if the chat decided to pay for a copy of Doom Eternal for you, you could accept it and keep your principles intact. Yeah, I guess I could. There's a copy of Mr. Ed on my floor, the box set. So I guess if a turkey suit and Mr. Ed are possible, anything is possible. Kevin Garnett said so. Call of Duty is shit, the most stupid game series of all time. I don't think it's not a great game series, but I don't think it's the worst of all time. I mean, I played, what's the shittier series than Call of Duty? I don't know. I gotta think about that. There are games in the Call of Duty series that I think are really fun. Battlefield was pretty shitty in my opinion. Yeah, we are an hour in already. Holy shit. I can't believe we're this far into the show. I love doing this morning show. It's like I said in the beginning, I can't believe it's already Thursday. Like I said to you guys earlier, I can't believe that June passed me by. I don't even remember what I did in that whole month. It was like, I know I was doing stuff for the channel and producing videos, and I can look back to see when I released stuff, but I honestly don't remember what I did that month. I know I ate, I went to the gym, and I drank coffee and did channel work. That's about it. I've never played Splatoon, but I've seen it be played. I skipped out on the whole Nintendo Wii U. Just didn't want it. It looked dumb. The only thing I feel like I missed out on was a great Smash Brothers game and the 3D or the HD remasters of Twilight Princess and Wind Waker. Even though I don't like Wind Waker, I'd have spent money on it again to try to appreciate it and finish it and enjoy the graphics. Thank you, Ballet Dancer New Jersey. I'm glad you guys appreciated those videos over the summer. What's up, Damajanai? Good morning. What kind of workout plan am I using now? Well, lots and lots of weights. I'm laying off the bench press for a minute because I feel like I got tendonitis in my right arm a bit. So I always get like this pain when I do bench. And I talked to the trainer and my wrist was in the right position and the form wasn't bad, but they suggest I take some time off. So when I do, I'm going to go back and do a single arm bench, which sounds stupid, but you do it with a single dumbbell and it helps out any core imbalance. So basically you would like tighten your stomach and your butt and do one arm and then switch to the other arm, and it helps you build up both sides instead of, shuffling with a bar. If I ever tried VR, yeah, Phil has a VR headset and he tried to show us all porn on his VR headset and it was really, really weird because like you're watching it, but Phil's like 4 feet away from you. So I didn't enjoy it whatsoever. And then Dan was right there too. So thanks, guys. Bazinski, hey, welcome back. Workout plan, get swole, son. Of course, I will get swole, son. It's not really hard to. Honestly, I'm at a point now where I do it so often, 5 days a week, that it's just routine for me mentally. I actually feel guilty if I wouldn't go. I had to took my grandma to the doctor the other week, and I still made it there in time. But then there was one week where I couldn't go on a Thursday, and I felt like shit. Hell, the episode of the podcast probably suffered because I felt so bad. Yeah, I'm definitely going to start doing single arm. I'm able to put up a ton of weight. I just don't want to, have bad form hinder me down the road. I don't do deadlifts or anything with my back or neck. The only thing I do squat-wise is full body squats. So I don't really need bigger legs at all in terms of muscles. Tim Riggs, thank you very much. Unfortunately, my conference call starts very soon or very early today. So here's $5 before I go to start on the World Class Bullshitters Doom Eternal Fun. Well, thank you, Timothy Riggs. Dude, I can't wait for you to be up at Horror Hound with us and the Tequila Man. So good luck on your conference call. Check back for the rest of the stream after your conference call. And enjoy your day, man. I'll hopefully see you tonight on World Class Bullshitters. Miles Hicks, can I call you Uncle Shitter? Sure, that's fine with me. I go by many names now on the channel, thanks to you guys. Uncle Shitter, Darth Muff, Mr. Shitter, Jeff. I'll answer to them all. Just you guys show up and I'll answer to them. Mech Warrior 2, I had that game back in the day. That was a lot of fun. Goblet squats are good. I do goblet squats too. It just depends. on the day. Do I think Smash Ultimate will have a story mode? I don't know if it'll have a story mode, but damn it, from what I saw from that 30-minute trailer, it's got my attention and my money. I can't wait. The Pui Doom money. Well, thank you very much, the Pui. So we're $10 to the Doom Fund. Jesus. When does this game come out? I got to look that up because, like I said, I've made good on all the shit you guys have requested. I'm not going to back out of that. I'm just like, damn it, when do I got to play Doom now? So let's see. Doom Eternal. Doom Eternal comes out. When is that? Release date. If you type in Doom Eternal, the first thing that pops up is SJW. Oh, December 28th. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll be through the IndieGoGo art and all that stuff. Yeah, I can do Doom Eternal. No problem. Thank you, the Pui. Mellow Soul says, my understanding from films, ... Are you asking me a question, or is that a YouTube channel I should be checking out? Mellow Soul, if you just at me and clarify, I'd love to answer you more. Yeah, time for Jeff to invest in Twitch. I've actually considered that. I know Nick runs our one Twitch, but I was thinking about doing like a private one that you guys could follow me on, like a Good Morning Pop Culture stream. Maybe once a month we'll do Good Morning Pop Culture from from Twitch. Oh, that could be, maybe we do that on Mondays. Maybe. I like the ideas are endless here on YouTube and the internet. So I'll check that out. Seymour Shitter, you can call me that too. Am I going to celebrate Power Ranger Day on the 28th? You know, it's funny you brought that up. I saw that as I was looking up news for this morning. And yes, I'm going to. I'll do a little stream. I know 50 people are going to show up. But for those 50 people that show up, Good Morning Pop Culture will be on the 28th. A Power Ranger-centric episode. Is that a... No. Yeah, that's Tuesday. Yeah, I'll talk about it. Maybe I'll even dig out some of my old classic toys. And yeah, I got some of them. We'll talk. We'll talk. So if you know anybody that wants to embrace their childhood and love the nostalgia like I do, make sure they're here on the 28th. So do you guys want me to take it serious again? Do you want me to cover the James Gunn thing, or you want to just say fuck it? Does anyone really care? Press 1 for gun and 2 for fuck it, and we'll go to something else. I'll wait. I'm going to drink a sip of coffee. Remember, that's 1 for gun, 2 for something else. Good morning, Rogue Leader. It's okay that you're late. We still got another hour and 3 minutes of the show. So you missed out on the video game talk, but it's okay. Okay, lots of 2s. I guess we're not gonna cover James Gunn. James Gunn, that seems to be the Jeremy thing. Let's just keep it the way it is. We're gonna have some fun. Not enough people care about James Gunn, it looks like. It's mostly 2s. Well, we're getting some 1s now. 2. My mother was a hamster. Did your father smell elderberries? Lots of 2s. Okay. And it's gone. I requested no James Gunn topic today. That's fine with me. I don't need to cover it. I had a couple stories. I was going to talk about how Jerry Seinfeld and Kevin Feige were talking about, but maybe we'll just cover that tonight on the podcast. Maybe. And now I'm like, what else do we cover? Sorry, Mike, I'm not trying to make you feel bad, my friend. Batista hates Disney. Batista is going to be okay financially. He'll make some movies, and he'll make some money, and he'll be fine. Because I don't know the Holy Hand Grenade, I don't get to do Monty Python references. That's harsh. It's not like I've watched the show a lot. It's funny when people talk about Monty Python and they're going on about the Holy Grail. I'm like, I prefer Flying Circus, the TV show. To me, it's better. It's more absurd. There's more variety. Yeah, the movies are fine. I like the Meaning of Life the most if I'm picking a Monty Python film. Not, no. Do you have any more art you could do with good cringe? Oh, here we go. Tom Cruise is the Green Lantern. That's what I wanted to talk about. I kept finding the Mark Wahlberg thing, but Tom Cruise is the Green Lantern. That's what I wanted to talk about for sure. So this comes from comicbook.com. And Believe me, I have a different opinion on Tom Cruise than I used to. I used to, wow, okay. I hate when websites start a fucking video. Sorry, I don't mean to take my anger out on you guys, but I'm sure you feel the same way. It's like you're clicking on a link to read an article, and boom, you're bombarded with sound and shit. It's like the Inception horn. So he wanted to say Tom Green to play the Cruise Lantern. Tom Green is the Green Lantern. Look at my hooves. He uses constructs and Freddy got fingered. Oh my god. Tom Cruise is Hal Jordan. Yes, please. Okay, so Warner Brothers might be enlisting A-list talent when they reboot Green Lantern Corps, according to a new rumor about the future DC Comics movie. A blind item from the celebrity rumor site Crazy Days and Nights states that Tom Cruise was in talks to star as the lead Green Lantern, but with one major caveat. The rumor states that the character was going to have to be killed off in the script, but Cruise would not take the role unless that was changed. The item originally ran in March of this year without Cruise's name or without Green Lantern mentioned, and now the site just revealed that information. Now, I am not a Tom Cruise fan to a point where I'll go out and see all of his movies. I like Mission Impossible. I love actually the Mission Impossible series. It's getting better and better. And I think Tom Cruise is secretly a robot because he doesn't really age much. Have you guys seen that meme of Top Gun where it's Tom Cruise and Kelly McGillis and from back in '86, and then it shows him today, and he looks essentially the same, and she looks like she's fallen apart. That's a good meme. It makes me laugh each time. Mellow Soul says Minecraft undermines freshman feelings. Oh, Muff. There we go. I like that. Is that the official acronym of Muff here on the channel? You guys can vote on it. 1 for yes, 2 for no. If you guys can find a better acronym for Muff, I'll wait. But as of now, Minecraft undermines freshman feelings. That's my go-to. Cesare Japan says not supporting anything related to Scientology. Hey, that is your right, and I will not judge you or tell you to feel bad about it. But for me, Mission Impossible, I've liked it since before I knew Tom Cruise was a Scientologist. As we were talking last night, 6 or 7-year-old Jeff, when you would rent Mission Impossible and own Goldeneye, I'd watch them back to back. I just loved spy movies. I liked, espionage and stuff like that. That takes away from the sanctity of the Muff, says Holdo's Muff. Well, you did start it, so I guess you should get the final say. Mushy underbelly French fries. Ew, gross. No, thank you. No, thank you. Now, I find it interesting, though, for Tom Cruise to want to play the Green Lantern, but not to die. I think they were going to use Hal Jordan to get the older fans in and then kill him off to raise up Jon Stewart because diversity or whatever. Now, Jon Stewart's a good character. I don't think he needs a Hal Jordan to be in the film to carry it. You need to have the right guy, not Idris fucking Elba. Look, I get it. It's a joke. Idris Elba plays this role. Idris Elba plays Mary Magdalene in the new version of the Passion of the Christ 2 or something. It's fine. We can have him play that movie. But there was a rumor at one point where it was going to be Tyrese. You just need the right guy. Even Michael J. White, who looks the part, I think is a little too old. You should have Jon Stewart be, 32, 33. Hal Jordan's in there too. Because Hal got older in the early 90s. They kind of drew him to have like the Mr. Fantastic white streaks at his temple. And Tom Cruise, I guess, would be good. It'd be interesting to see an A-list actor in a DC flick like that. I mean, yeah, Ben Affleck's won Oscars and stuff, but Tom Cruise is on another level from Ben Affleck. There aren't many bigger stars than Tom Cruise. I don't know if I think it'll help save the movie's box office, but it would be interesting to say the least. And I kind of like that he has the no death clause in it. I don't really want to kill off Hal. You can just write him out. Don't kill off these characters. Don't sacrifice legacy and lineage just for the 5 people on the internet that haven't let go of Green Lantern. Ryan Reynolds being one of them. Yeah, by the way, I'm tired of Ryan Reynolds talking about the damn Green Lantern flick. I get it. It was 7 years ago. It didn't turn out well. Your career rebounded. You're Deadpool. You've had a great last decade or so. Just chill the fuck out. Tanae, good morning, world class bullshitters. Good morning, Tanae, and thank you very much for joining us on Good Morning Pop Culture. Caesarea, Japan, Muff, mandatory unattractive female friend. I like it. I like it. Oh man, that's kind of cold. Oh, don't hate on Jessica. She's my Muff. Lucky thinking, ew, you could do better. Nope, she's my Muff, and I love her for it. Matted, unseemly female fluff. Ew. Moist underwear finally free. God, you guys can gross me out on my own morning show. I love it. Wait till we get to the Halloween episodes. I want you guys to come up with really gross acronyms for Muff. I don't know what that means, Gerhardt. Characters must be killed and replaced with diverse versions. Here's the weird thing about the Green Lantern. I don't want Hal to be killed off for Kyle Rayner or Jon Stewart. I want them all three to exist. You could have your white version, you can have your black version. Is Kyle Rayner like not Asian or Latino or something? I guess he's white too. Maybe have a Filipino actor play him. I don't know. I'm not a Kyle Rayner fan. Only if they show somebody stuffed in a refrigerator will I go see that movie. This is my Muff. There are many like it, but this one is mine. Muff acronyms are the new hashtag. Jeff made me derp it. Oh my God, that hashtag. I looked it up last night again before I went to bed, and I just had a good laugh. So thank you. Dion, Kyle is just gay, right? I don't think Kyle Rayner was gay because his girlfriend was put in the refrigerator all chopped up, right? That's why those stupid comic book writers talk about women in refrigerators. It's like it was a story from decades ago. Just get over it. You know, not everything was good. You don't always judge stuff from a 2018 lens of political correctness because you wouldn't make Blazing Saddles, and Blazing Saddles is considered a great comedy by many. Some people say it's the best. A lot of jokes wouldn't fly. Like I said, I watched Third Rock from the Sun the other night, and the joke was Sally went into a gay bar to get change, and there were a bunch of drag queens, and the guy's like, "You look like a real woman," and she's like, something, something, something. So this gay dude dates Sally the whole episode thinking she's a man in drag. Then Sally goes to change in front of him, and he finds out Sally's really a woman, and he runs off. That was funny. But now today they would say that's offensive towards the gay community. And not once did they portray the gay community in a bad way. It was just a funny joke. Jokes are dead now. Anthony Gates, are you a Jim Carrey fan? Thank you, Anthony Gates. I was at one point. If you would have talked to me at, in 1995, I would have told you Jim Carrey is my favorite thing in the world. Because remember, I didn't discover Star Wars until about 96. So there was no Harrison Ford in my life. I think I may have seen The Fugitive, but that's it. But Jim Carrey, I love Dumb and Dumber. I love The Cable Guy. I really do. People say, oh, The Cable Guy sucks. I like The Cable Guy a whole hell of a lot. I think it's funny. I think it's still relevant to this day. Liar, Liar's great. Much like Adam Sandler. Once he got out of the 90s, though, he just lost it. I didn't see The Majestic? I didn't watch, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind? All those Jim Carrey movies. I just didn't do the serious roles. But I go back, The Mask, Ace Ventura, Dumb and Dumber, Batman Forever. Those are fun. Have they aged well? Yeah, pretty much. I mean, Batman Forever has always been what it was. Serious at times, hokey at others. Overall, a tonally slightly inconsistent film. But I love it for what it is. So yes, Anthony Gates. I would call myself a Jim Carrey fan at one time. And as a person, I don't know much about his politics. I know people say he's loony or this and that. But I like him when I see him on TV shows. Like when they did the Dumb and Dumber 2 press tour on Conan O'Brien, and him and Jeff Daniels got back together. I liked that. I feel like if I spoke to Jim Carrey, he would be decent. The Shadow Loaf Nose. Sorry, I just got your name. Sorry. It just sounded like the Shadow Loaf Nose. Just wondering, also off topic, I'm saving up for a new car. Any recommendations? Well, the Shadow Loaf Nose, if you can afford it, since you're in the UK, get yourself an Aston Martin. but since those are super expensive, I really don't know much about UK cars. Um, I have the same car I've had for quite a while. Dion's been in it. It's a good enough car. It gets me around. I could use a bigger one, but I don't know. Right now, at this point in my life, a car is just a utility to get point A to point B. And when I have to go super, super far, I still rent a car because I don't trust the one I drive currently. So I'd love to give you an honest answer the Shadow Loaf knows. It just depends on what your price range. I'll give you this piece of advice from me. Don't put yourself into debt unless you truly have to. So don't get some luxurious car that you can't afford to pay off, because while it seems fun at first, once you have that car payment and then you have your repair bills on top of that and maintenance, it's going to become a pretty big thing. So if you can find something you like that you can pay off and then only have to worry about the maintenance fees, you're better off doing that. Like here in the US, I always suggest people get a nice certified used car and then take good care of it and shit like that. I'm lucky too. My mom's boyfriend's a mechanic, so I need some work done. He takes my car for a couple days and I'm set. Eddie Murphy, Richard Pryor, and Red Fox would have been chased out of town with pitchforks. They would have been. It's funny. One of our friends, Curtis, over on our Facebook page, drew a picture of Mundane Matt Mall Cop, and it goes, "Woo woo, pull over," and he's like, "I don't know if anyone gets this Eddie Murphy joke." I did. There are so many Eddie Murphy jokes that would be considered off color today that people would not approve of. But I watched that shit and I laughed my ass off. Eddie Murphy, Raw, and Delirious are both classic. Maybe it's because they're not appropriate for today that I find them even better. Mellow Soul says, last super chat, just sending love from Australia. Well, Mellow Soul, thank you very much for the love you send all the way from Australia. Is it like 8 p.m. over there or something? I don't know timetables off the top of my head, but I'm assuming it's late night for you. Let's see. Our friend Drew Anderson says, Kyle Rayner's dad is Mexican and isn't gay, just bad luck with girlfriends. Okay, I knew he wasn't straight up like, he's always drawn slightly different looking, but I knew he wasn't the refrigerator girl thing. Now, my friend Garrett from Chicago, he was a big Green Lantern fan, especially Kyle Rayner. We didn't even talk about comics much back in the day. We just talked about Star Wars mostly. But he would talk about Green Lantern, and when we went to his house in Chicago, he's like, dude, check it out. And he had like a whole bookshelf full of just DC Green Lantern books. Probably had Ethan Van Sciver stuff on there. Well, this would have been 09. Yeah, Ethan Van Sciver was drawing Green Lantern, so what the hell am I talking about? But thank you, Drew Anderson. Maybe I'll read one of those Kyle Rayner books. Maybe that could be what I show up next time. Remind me, guys. I'll show the refrigerator one. Adam Walford says, the last Muff Fighter. I don't think anyone wants to be the last Muff Fighter. I always want to be the first. It's 11:12 p.m. in Sydney, Australia. Okay, so it's late over there. My day is just starting. Yours is just ending. So, yeah, this Tom Cruise thing though, I'm not angry with it, but I'm interested. If Warner Brothers is going to throw out big money to get big stars, will he have the crossover appeal? Will he have another Mission Impossible on his hands, or will we have a Jack Reacher 2, which was just unwatchable? I hate that movie. Grabbed by the muff. I'm just laughing at the shit you guys say. You know what? So we can keep ourselves soy free from internet drama. Let's talk about Green Lantern refrigerator now. Green Lantern refrigerator. So Kyle Rayner comes home from a mission or a job or whatever, saving the day, some general superheroing, and he finds his girlfriend in the refrigerator. And I don't mean like hanging out. I mean, she's literally in the refrigerator. So this isn't bad comic book art. This is very good comic book art. But this is a very iconic moment that I think you guys should see. Because I talk about, big moments in history, and some people are just like, oh, I'll check them out later, and then you forget. Why not share it now? So here we are. So, Alex, he's looking for Alex. Surprise for you in the fridge. Love A. What's the surprise? Alex is in the fridge. How much super chat money would it take you to drink soy milk live on stream? I don't even like regular milk, so I'm going to hold you up for a high amount because I don't enjoy. Ew, no, thank you. I don't even do almond milk. Here's the thing: people are talking about Tom Cruise run acting. Can you run act in space with no gravity? Is he gonna like how like Green Lantern would like fly through space majestically with his arm out? Would Tom Cruise run through space? Could you imagine that's the thing? He's just like huffing and puffing through outer space. He's like the Flash. It sounds like I'm saying Kylo Ren instead of Kyle Rayner. What's in the fridge? What's in the fridge? Oh, Turbo Dunk. I love your name so much. Now, see, Dion, I didn't catch this as a kid. I wasn't reading Green Lantern. I think the first Green Lantern comic I picked up was because of Joel. Joel was a big Green Lantern fan. He's like, dude, you got to read it. It's so great. And in many ways, Joel looks like the Green Lantern. He's got that same haircut, same generic face. Love him to death. With that run face Tom Cruise makes. Remember to drink your Ovaltine. Ovaltine? A crummy commercial? It looks like Iceman is coming out of the fridge. Well, it's funny. Somebody mentioned that this launched 1,000 feminist comic book articles. Yeah, this comes from a fucking feminist comic book article. I just Google searched it so I could show it to you as quick as possible. But all those articles just slowly killed the comic book industry. So now we're all here. Who killed his girlfriend? I don't know. I have to look into that. I'm not really a big Green Lantern fan. I can't tell you the lore outside of what is that? Green Lantern Secret Origins? I own that book. Yeah, Jeff Johns, Ivan Reese, or whatever his name is, book. I guess he'll be having his girlfriend for dinner. Maybe. He'll treat her like that census taker, if you know what I mean. Yeah, I bet Ethan would know too. I mean, he only worked on the book professionally for years, and that's what he's most known for, besides being everyone's favorite butter-licking uncle. What's in the... Can we trade Aquaman for Green Lantern? I always hated Merman. Hey, maybe we'll ask. We'll ask Warner Brothers. I mean, the DC properties are diminishing in value, so maybe they're just open to whatever. Jeffrey Dahmer stars in the new Green Lantern reboot. Hey, why not? It's 2018. Anything is possible. Why does Green Lantern have a muzzle flash coming out of his eyes? Dramatic effect. I always found the Kyle Rayner Green Lantern mask to be so thick. I never got it. I guess because he's an artist and he can pick his construct appearance. Miles Hicks, gotta go to work. Bye, Uncle Shitter. Goodbye, nephew Miles. Have a good day at work. Make your bosses proud. I expect you to own the company in 3 weeks. Grand Moff Tarkin. I thought my girlfriend was cold. Fuck. Oh my god. Thank you, Dion. Thank you. So are there any other topics you guys would like me to cover this morning? Like I said, I'm keeping our channel soy-free of the drama. So yeah, I saw the Mundane Matt apology just to get it out of the way. We won't be covering it tonight on the show. He lied to us. He's done to me. So there we go. But if you guys have any other questions or topics you'd like me to cover, we can. I feel like we covered the Star Wars stuff pretty well, pretty early too. See, they keep putting out news and information about Star Wars. Like there's this rumor that Kylo Ren is going to be fighting the Knights of Ren. There's a report that actors 24 to 27 are going to be filming with Adam Driver relatively soon. And that to me is not even that newsworthy, unless it means that Kylo Ren is going to become good and fight the Knights of Ren. But it's too late to introduce them. They're introduced in that flashback, and your average person, if a 5-year-old goes to see episode 9 next year, that's 2019, that means they would have been born in 2014. So they would have been 1 year old. Unless they caught this movie on tape, they're not going to catch that. Well, tape. Wow, I'm really dating myself. Oh, yeah, I saw it on tape. No, you didn't, Jeff. No, you didn't. Okay, we got 2 toy questions. Single most expensive toy you've ever bought. Um, I do own the Hot Toys Batman from '89, which is worth $500, but I didn't pay that. I didn't pay anything. It was a gift. Back then it was $220. The Soul of Chikogan Megazord was pretty expensive. That was like $200 or $300. I guess that's really the most expensive toy I own. Because if I look at all this other shit, either I got it on clearance or I got it when it was new, and when it was new, it wasn't that expensive. The Hot Toys I didn't pay for. The Sideshow stuff was like $100. So yeah, I guess the Soul Chikogan Megazord is the single most expensive toy I ever purchased. Talk about a toy line you want to see. I don't know if it's a toy line, but like I said, I desperately want an Axel Foley figure. If they do a high-end collectible, I'll buy it on day one. No questions asked. Hot Toys Axel Foley, give me 2. The heat is on, baby. Yeah, I always say on tape too. Hold him up. Oh man, I'm glad I'm not alone. Or I'll say I'll watch it on video. I mean, I feel like video still is relevant enough. Like you can say to your kids, like, "Oh yeah, we'll watch it on video. We'll get it on video." I mean, it's still video, audio, video, so we're good. You should consider stream highlights like Jeremy has been doing recently. I've considered that, but at the same time, you guys also want the single produced videos. Like because I told you guys straight up, if you watch the Star Wars toy graveyard, I will go back to producing the daily video, not daily videos, but the single videos, which I'm going to do. I have one that I'm working on. It's mostly audio, but it's more in depth. So I am all about giving you guys what you want. But as of right now, I'm going to have to focus on the IndieGoGo. And unlike Ethan, while I've drawn comic book pages for money, I haven't done it as much as him, and I don't have the speed that he does. So for me to do the pages for the IndieGoGo will take a while, but it'll never interfere with the morning show or the, when I put out the single release videos. And by the way, I think I'm going to move those closer towards the weekends where people are off and they can catch them. So down the road, I will do highlights, but the morning show is really about interaction with you guys. It's fun. I'm reading the chat. I'm showing stuff. It's kind of a way to interact with me every day instead of keeping myself locked up behind a keyboard, only producing content that's, overly produced and recorded and edited and stuff. It's more of a raw, fun way. It's like having an actual discussion. So I'm open to doing highlights down the road or maybe a recap show or something at the end of the week. But at least for the next couple of weeks, because like next week is Horror Hound and I'm going to be out of town. And I'm actually considering live streaming from the car just for you guys. So, yeah, don't worry. Down the road, it can happen. I'm buying a shitload of Sam Adams beer in light of this boycott. What boycott? Did I miss something? Would I like to see a new Beverly Hills Cop movie? No, I would not. Well, no, I take it back. I would. Number 4 or 3 sucks, so why not? World class bullshit is raw. Gives you live feedback on your work. Yeah, it's all fun. It's all fun. Jeff, is it wrong for me to want to say an SJW to try some coordinating strategy acceleration? No, you don't want to see. Look, we don't want anyone to try to start drama at Star Wars Celebration because it'll all affect, all of us. It'll make us look bad. That's why I keep saying almost every day, we're going in peace to have fun with no any intent, and I'm not telling anyone to go do anything. So you don't really want to see that happen. You want us to go. You want nothing to happen. That way, because you want these SJW people to just disappear, right? Well, they'll huff and they'll puff and they'll get on their Twitters and they'll do all this stuff. And then when it comes down to it and nothing happens, you'll realize they're all fake news and it just disappears. King Eric the 15th. Muff equals massive, unkempt, fleshy flaps. Ew. Ew, that's so gross. So gross. I am Holdo's Muff and I approve of King Eric's acronym. Anita will show up and call me a garbage human. You mean Anita Sarkeesian? Oh, okay. She can call me whatever she wants. It's not going to affect my life. I'm just going to keep on doing what I do. I got you guys. You like what I do. I don't care if one person hates it. That's all on her. Have I heard much from Razor Fist? I have not heard from Razor Fist in a while. I could reach out. I know he's busy doing his own content and stuff like that. So with somebody who has a channel that size, I can't constantly ask him, like, hey, are you free? Are you free? Are you free? But I can always leave the door open for more appearances. But if you guys want Razor Fist on the show, all you have to do is you can tweet him. You can just say, hey, we'd like you to go on World Class Bullshitters again. And with enough, I mean, he'll see his tweets, and then I can reach out and say, hey, people are asking, so I told him to tell you, and if you're interested to contact me, he can hear this and know, okay, cool. Because Razor Fist is a smart dude. He's always fun to have around. By the way, you're talking about guests. Doomcock will be on Saturday night, so make sure you guys are prepared for that. It's going to be like a one-on-one hangout type of thing, and you guys can ask questions, and you can say all hail Doomcock and all that stuff. It's pretty cool that people still love their VHS tapes. See, I think VHS, outside of nostalgia, is a really terrible format. I have a couple movies on VHS because I want to own the movie on every format. But other than that, I'm not a VHS supporter. I like the newest, slickest, easiest formats. I want to watch my movies the clearest way possible. When are you guys coming to Indy? Next weekend, the 24th through the 26th. I will be there. Nick will be there. Dion will be there. Kendo will be there. And Channel Dad Brian Lape will be there. So if you want to meet Channel Dad Brian Lape without his noisy-ass daughter, well, Indianapolis Horror Hound is the place to do it. Laserdisc for life. I have Laserdiscs of Back to the Future, Beverly Hills Cop 1 and 2, Dr. No, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, all kinds of stuff. All right, Brian Nearin, you're going to be there in Indy. Make sure you let me know, man, and I'll make sure I'm at the table in time for you, dude. I haven't heard from the Power Ranger yet. I'm waiting, though, because he's at Power Morphicon this weekend. See, I look to see when these people have shows to attend and stuff, because when you go to shows, you're busy. You got 1,000,001 people vying for your attention. You got to find them on social media when they're kind of alone at home doing nothing in the middle of the day, watching reruns of Dr. Phil, something like that. So I will tell you guys when I'm going to try to reach out to him, and then we can all kind of just send him a positive tweet and see if we can work something out for this calendar year. Anthony Mata, as an artist, have you considered buying the iPad Pro as a drawing tablet? I have not, because I own a drawing tablet. I own a Wacom Cintiq. It's a couple years old, but I like it. I'm used to it. Now, the computer I work on does not have a disk drive, so I don't have any of my drawing programs on this computer. I have to use my old computer, and it still works. Put it like that. It works to get the job done. Like this whole comic book that I'm producing will be produced on the old 2013 HP laptop that makes noise when it turns on, and it's about as fat as a deck of cards and a half. This new one's like razor thin and cool and fast and powerful. But I don't do Apple products. I bought an iPod Touch 4th generation back in 2012. I had leftover Christmas money, and I thought, I could use an iPod. It'd be fun. The thing broke in my pocket. The screen cracked, and it just kept falling apart. So I'll never get another iPod or another Apple product, because I feel like I paid good money for it, and it broke. I've had, 4 or 5 Android smartphones that have never broken on me. I treated them with the same respect. So comics or graphic novel? Comics or comics? I think graphic novel is a churched up phrase that people use to try to, like, what are you? I'm a graphic novelist. What are you? Just say you're an artist. That covers all of it. Look at the Joker from Batman 89. He wants to be the world's first fully functioning homicidal artist. Well, artist is a nice coverall phrase that you can be, used to describe many a thing. Make sure you back up your work so you don't lose it. Yeah, I back up my work. Believe me, I've been doing digital art since 2012. It's funny, if you go back and look at, the thing is, I bought all this stuff in 2012, and then I thought, I'm going to draw on paper, and then I'm going to ink it digitally. And I did that for a while, and it worked, but it was kind of a hassle. So then one day in 2013, or was it 2014, I said, hey, I'm doing nothing but tablet work. And now I don't even like to draw on paper. I like to draw on tablets exclusively. It just feels right. It's natural. Yeah, he also wants his face on the $1 bill. So do I. Graphic novels okay to show nude, violence, and profanity with adult themes. Comics are tamed down. That's how you feel, Amy? I think that's a pretty good assumption, or a not assumption, pretty good way to label them. For me, though, it's all comics. It's all sequential storytelling, and it's just a different way to package it. I think a lot of people just call them graphic novels to feel better about what they're reading. You know, um, comic strips from the newspaper are just different packages to tell the same types of story. I prefer inking in real life, saving coloring for digital. I don't color. I got a guy that's going to color the book. Well, at least the cover that I'm going to use for the IndieGoGo pitch. He's awesome. But I don't know. I just like it all digitally because that way I don't even have to erase. I just hit Control Z. If I make a mistake, I can go back and fix and make many changes. And I can add and play around, and you can use layers to try to add stuff. And if you don't like it, you delete the layer and you still have the base inks and all the other stuff. You're old fashioned, you draw on paper. Well, EVS draws on paper. A lot of professional artists draw on paper. My artist friend, well, he's an artist I know. He's not really like a friend, but we're also not enemies. But he swears about drawing on paper so he has an original to sell. And I'm like, that's nice, but your output's so low. Plus, people aren't buying the stuff like the prints anyway. So why not get get steady work that you can pump out faster? Can you give us a hint about what your comic's about? Of course I can. I've been talking about it for many months. So a couple months ago on the podcast, came up with this joke about, what if, a great movie would be if a group of guys kidnapped Harrison Ford, kept him in their basement, and forced him to remake a Star Wars movie. And that's what the premise is about. I got it worked out. Every day I come up with new scenes. Like, I got the plot's done, but sometimes, when you're working on something, you come up with an idea and you want to add that into the story. So it'll be about a 32-page comic book. And yeah, ask Ethan Van Sciver. I've been talking to him. I've asked him some advice and pointers about what to expect, how to launch this thing properly. And this is going to be our first step to expand the brand. Like I said, we want this to go huge so I can take and find a way to get this turned into a movie. Now, it is parody, so it's protected. It doesn't include anything from Disney Star Wars. I know people are trying to say, don't do it, you'll get in trouble. There's nothing from Disney Star Wars in it. Like I said, there's no Star Wars logo. There's no guns or lightsabers or blasters from the Star Wars universe. Trust me, you won't even notice it in the story. It's so well constructed that you'll know what we're talking about without actually showing anything that is copyrighted. Can the Coke Man be on your comic? Who's the Coke Man? See you later, Gerhardt. Let's see. Yeah, drawing is fun. Put it like this: I actually I have like a system for how to draw, and I was going to do this how to draw book. Maybe when this thing takes off, this first comic, and I can use the money to help us get the story out there to the real world in film, and then build up the channel. Maybe I'll go back and play around with that idea, because a lot of people seem to be passionate about drawing, and I have a basic concept that if you can draw circles, I can teach you how to do all the drawing shit. Make it the scary movie for these bullshit Mary Sue movies. Trust me, the Sentinel. This is this is parody to the extreme, and that's why I think the story works so well. And I'm not just telling you that I think it works because it's my opinion. I've shared this with a lot of people, a lot of patrons off air. There are some guys out there that may be listening to this that have talked to me off air after the Star Wars EU discussions and stuff like that. And every time I tell people the concept, they laugh. So it's a unique story that will reach Star Wars fans. Even if you're not part of the fandom menace, this story will appeal to you. But everyone that listens here is part of the fandom menace, so it'll appeal to you that way too. I'm excited. I'm really excited. I get to do the one thing I thought I was going to do, and I get to have an audience, a big enough audience where people will check it out. I mean, I was always told, oh, these comic books, these funny books are a waste of time. They're a waste of time. And now I'm like, knowing how to draw and create this stuff has been really beneficial to this channel. I design the logos. I do the t-shirts. I do all that stuff. I don't have to pay an artist or outsource it. I just know what I'm doing. So maybe it took a couple years to get here, but it was worth every step of the way. And so stealing solo is like the next step. And then we go into the next bigger step, and we just keep growing the channel to a point where it's like, holy shit, this is, a brand. Let's see. No, Harrison Ford will be harmed in the making of this comic, is all I can say. But I do really, really, really wanted this to be big so it can get his attention, so we can get him to be in the movie, because he does independent stuff. He does smaller stuff. All you got to do is have a big enough audience. And if the attention is so solely focused on this book and the fervor is high, it'll find the right people, and we can get this turned into a movie. Like, imagine, after Star Wars and all this stuff, Harrison Ford comes out and he's in this movie that's a parody on the Star Wars brand, and all these people go out and laugh and have a good time, and it brings some peace to the galaxy, some balance. So that's why I want this to succeed. I really just, it's a story I'm proud of. I stand by it. I want everyone to read it and laugh and have a good time. Let's see. I still got my Phantom Menace Dakota ring and membership card. Oh, Cesare Japan. That is all on the other guys. I deal with the World Class Bullshitters merchandise. Thank you, Holdo's Muff. What else we got? Let's see. No hurting the nerf herder. Yeah, he's completely fine. Like I said earlier, I think it was Anthony. Somebody asked me about my favorite. Is he? How do I feel about Harrison Ford? He's my favorite actor for a reason. Big fan. That's awesome. It'll be awesome if he, is involved with the project. Let's see. Party Home City. Good morning, Jeff. Taking younger siblings to school again means I might end up getting to see the last 10 to 20 minutes of these for a while. Well, I hope you do. I may even stay on a little longer some of these days just for you, Party Home Civvy. Yeah, Egon's dead. The Ghostbusters is done, sadly. They tried it in 2016 with the all-female remake, and I don't even care that it's all female. It's just a bad idea to remake Ghostbusters. You don't remake perfection. It worked perfectly in the beginning. Don't change it. Ryan's Broom Boy trilogy is going to be rad. Yeah, well, it's going to be the raddest trilogy ever. Hello, Jordan Cherry. I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. VHS is shit, but I respect people's fondness for it. Yeah, that's pretty much how I feel. If you love it, awesome. For me, I'm not. I on videotape because I'm trying to collect every format, and I only need one left. I'll get a CED copy in good shape. Other than that, I don't watch these old dead formats. I just have my favorite movies on all of them. Where can we see your previous artwork? I am on Instagram, but that's old stuff. I haven't updated because I haven't drawn all year. Like I said the other day, it was bizarre. I sat down on Tuesday. I said, okay, I'm back. Let's do this. And so I did my warm-up, and it was like I hadn't stopped drawing. I was like, cool. I still had the feel for it. The tablet was all calibrated. I was really happy and excited. So I'm, getting forward to this. And I got the cover concept thing I'm working on. Pencils are done. I'm in the inking process. That's what I'm doing as soon as I'm off this show this morning. I'm going to get up, walk around for a minute, and I'm going to ink my the cover. And the cover is funny. And I don't worry. It'll be available to check out on IndieGoGo sooner than you think. And, just keep paying attention to this show on the channel. And once it comes out, or once it's available, we'll go full meatless and make sure that everyone gets their copy. But like Ethan's, this will be a thing, and then when it's gone, it's gone. I won't be taking it out into bookstores and trying to do all that stuff. So if you guys are big Star Wars fans of this channel, fans of Comicsgate and all that stuff, treat it like that. Other than EVS, what's your favorite comic book artist? Now, I don't think Ethan would be on my top 10 list. I respect him as an artist. I think he's a fantastic artist. But if I'm being completely honest, and he would be fine with this too, my favorite artists usually are all the older Marvel guys. So if I'm giving you a list, it's like John Romita Sr. I like some of Gil Kane's work. I like, wow, why am I drawing a blank right now? I like Neil Adams. He's not Marvel, obviously. Well, he was at Marvel. I like, Neil Adams, John Byrne. I think John Buscema's the best of all time. Romita Sr. is my favorite. I like Jim Lee. I like, who else do I like? I respect Steve Ditko, but I would never call him my favorite artist. I also respect and love George Perez, but I wouldn't consider him my favorite artist. There's so many that I love. A newer guy I like was Mike McCone. I like Alex Ross's work. Bruce Timm's work is fantastic. There's just so many great comic book artists. That's why I get kind of like, I go on these rants when people ask me about comic questions. Jim Lee has a channel, yeah. Oh, let's see. Draw Spider-Man without a chest butt. That was bad. Yeah, that was a weird thing. That was my favorite comic as a kid. Amazing Spider-Man. Or well, maybe Spider-Man Adventures, because it was based off the cartoon, and he wasn't a clone in that, and it was a lot simpler to talk about or read. Try to do it so it doesn't end at 3 a.m. Definitely. Dave Cockrum was a great artist. Rest in peace. John Byrne, oh man, I just love his X-Men. He took over for it. I think you should do a World Quest Bullshitters comic. Down the road I will, but I want to see this one. This is a concept that I love so much, and it makes me laugh every time I think about it. So why not go big? There's no reason to go, oh, I want to do a comic that's going to appeal to 10 people. No, a lot of people don't realize how long it takes to do this shit. If I'm going to spend, 100 hours on it, more probably, I definitely want people to be aware of it and be something they care about. It's not going to be full of inside jokes for, the guys that watch the show. Let's say hypothetically, of the 70,000 subscribers we have, because there are secret ones that I can see that you can't, let's say 3,000 a week watch the show. Think of the other 67,000 that don't know the jokes, get the references, know who we are. So why would I take that approach and, cater to such a small group? Yeah. Neil Adams did X-Men. King Kirby's awesome. Turbo Dunk says, Jeff, after Harrison Ford comic, you should do a Beverly Hills Cop Robocop next. Now, see, that's where you got I couldn't really do those ones because, Robocop is a copywritten fictional character. So like I said, I looked into the parody thing. Maybe I could do like a drawing of that and put it on Twitter or something like that, but I couldn't really turn it into anything because it would include, Robocop or Axel Foley. Like Han Solo's not in this comic book at all. So, but yeah, thank you, Turbo Donk. I'll definitely do more. Just got to see how well this one does. Have I read Marvel Max series? Yeah, I've read Marvel Max comic books. The Punisher, where he was in the bathroom and cut the dude's foot off at the urinal. I remember that one vividly. The Batman 89 logo looks awesome on Laserdisc. Yeah. I was trying to think because I got the VHS cover and it looks dumb. It cuts it off. Maybe they should have released it sideways. Landscape, a Batman story. Gru was a parody of Conan. Yeah. I've seen Gru. Oh, Frank Cho, EVS Bullen. I'm a huge fan of the old 2000 AD stuff, Tank Girl, etc. Yeah, Frank Cho, EVS, and Brian Bullen are all great. Very realistic, great storytellers. I love Frank Cho's ladies, some of the best looking ones in comics. I'm trying to think who else I enjoy. There's just so many. So many. I like Ed McGuinness too. Jeff, do you like the Ben Templesmith 30 Days a Night books? I really like his drawing style. I've only seen the movie. I've never read the books. So I don't know about how the artwork looks. Midnight's Edge mentioned Peter Weller might come back for Blomkamp's Robocop 2. Thoughts? I guess you kind of have to have it if it's supposed to be the real spiritual successor to the original Robocop flick. You got to have Peter Weller. I don't really like Robocop that much, so for me, it would be like it would be something I'd see for the channel or go see with Dion. But as a personal thing, like if you could watch RoboCop or do something else, I probably would do something else because I don't have the love for RoboCop like a lot of people. You could do a parody instead of RoboCop, you could have Robert Cop or something like that with B-grade RoboCop. I think there is a Robert Cop bootleg action figure. Make a comic book about Harrison Ford and Tom Cruise falling in love. It has to be tragic, though. Now, see, that's where you got to be careful because if you portray these people in a negative way, then you can get in trouble. But like I said, you got to just check out I checked out the legal issues. No, I didn't get a chance to check the Twitter. Remember, Nick does most of the Twitter stuff. Have you seen the size of Peter Weller these days? He could barely fit into his 1987 underpants, never mind the robo suit. Damn. Peter Weller was supposed to be a horror hound, but he canceled due to work reasons. So Dion cried a little bit on the inside. With the parody laws, how does Robot Chicken not get sued? With parody laws. Remember, I'm me. Plus, my story doesn't require the Death Star or the Millennium Falcon or all those things. It's just not part of the story. Even if I had free range from Disney, they said do whatever you want. You can put everything in the story you want. It still wouldn't require all of those things. Believe me, the story comes first. The story's not doesn't exist the way it does to protect myself. It exists the way it does due to the comedic nature of the story. It's set in the real world, and the situation is where the comedy comes from. This isn't Disney Star Wars. Remember this, remember that. Look at the Jawa. No, no, no. It comes from many other things. There's a Roger Cop, a miraculous ladybug, and a French cartoon. Let's see. Peter Weller had too much pie. Yeah, he had a lot of pie. A lot of pie. Rose Torx on Infinity tries to self-sacrifice. That could be the case. That could be the case. I don't know how many butts that would put in seats, but it could happen. Let's see. Neil Blomkamp isn't really doing shit, as Robocop will probably end up being canceled, make District 9 sequel or Halo movie. You don't want Elysium 2? You don't want Elysium 2. The Derp Star, a super laser which lobotomizes the population. Now that's a cool concept. Now that's funny as shit right there. The Derp Star. I guess since this appears on the stream, I'll steal it. Nah, I won't take it. But that is funny. We'll talk about it on the podcast, I bet. Let's see. I haven't seen Tank Girl in a long time either. So writing matters. What a concept. Damn you, Ryan Johnson. Yeah, there's a concept that works. A good story fleshed out from the beginning. Elysium was the only Blomkamp film I've liked. I didn't like Chappie, and District 9 was fun. I just was going by what I've heard about Elysium, how it's, an allegory for U.S. immigrant relations in space. So, brimigation. It can't be stolen, considered a gift. Well, I'm going to write that down now since you said it's cool. The Derp Star. The laser lobotomizes. There we go. How about making a Blade Runner comic? There are Blade Runner comics. There was the adaptation from Marvel in the 80s. There's a adaptation of Do Androids Dream of Electric Sleep from the about maybe 2009, so that's not the early 2000s compared to where we are. And then maybe there's some stuff from Blade Runner 2049. For layout, do you use the post-it note storyboarding method, or do you have a better way? For me, I just do, I take my sketchbook and then I write it out, what I want to do, and then I come up with the scenes in my head and I'll draw the panels out very roughly on a sketchbook page. And then I go in, and then when I go to draw it for the final version, I do it real cleanly and professionally. Wondering your thoughts on 90s books like The Invisibles or Transmetropolitan. Are they movieable? I like Transmetropolitan. Where did it go? It's on my shelf. I know I own it, like the first 2 or 3 volumes. Spider Jerusalem. I think that'd be better as a TV show on like a Hulu or something, but it could work if it's done properly and you stick to the source material and don't try to stuff, modern day stuff in there. Let's see. Chap's probably the worst Hollywood big budget movie I've ever seen since any Medea movie. I can't do Medea movies. Ugh. DJD show says, thank you, cheers. Add me on Twitter if you want. Yeah, I'll make sure we do. I'm not open to or not opposed to having contacts with anybody through Twitter or our Facebook page or email, stuff like that. I don't. That's the one thing I don't like doing with the channel is closing ourselves off from fan interaction because it's more fun this way. People are still talking about Lori Petty. She looked kind of rough in Orange is the New Black. Blade can save the MCU. Man, Blade would be awesome. Like, they're fighting Thanos one more time, and all of a sudden you hear that technique's like, boom, 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 and then he does a front flip, and then off with the arm. I was told I wouldn't like Medea. I've seen Medea, and I don't like it. I'll pass 100%. Blade Runner's now become the only franchise left, I think. I know I don't get a lot of love for this, but Blade Runner, while I own the Blu-ray, I just don't love Blade Runner like most people do. It's fine. It's technically a great movie. I get it. Roy Batty's speech is probably the best part of the movie for me. And to watch the original cut with the narration is just terrible. Ew. Blade versus Ghost Rider in the MCU. I wouldn't mind some more like mystical, magical elements. I know we got the mystical stuff, the Sorcerer Supreme with Doctor Strange, but like darker magic, horror elements of the MCU. Bring that in. Then you have science fiction, regular action, and some horror elements, and you got a little bit of something for everybody. You could have him release a Ghost Rider film mid-October 2020, and it deals with him being in New Orleans and voodoo and shit. You can include Brother Voodoo and just make it dark and scary and fun. Dark and scary is great. Yeah, Harrison Ford was against the narration. I've heard that. I didn't watch the wrong version. I own all the versions on Blu-ray. I got the whole set. I just recently checked out all the cuts, and I was like, I hate this version. Ugh. Did the undead in the MCU disappear when Thanos snapped his fingers? Probably not. Never know. Never know. Ghost Rider dropped Galactus in 30 seconds in the 90s Fantastic Four cartoon. That cartoon was terrible. I remember watching that as a kid, and I was thinking to myself, when does Spider-Man come on? When does X-Men come on? You can tell the budgets were different for those shows. That, Hulk, the Silver Surfer cartoon was different. I liked that one. I thought it was interesting, and it had a unique style to it. But not so much the Fantastic Four or Hulk. You don't have to love something as long as you can appreciate it. Well, that's how I feel about Blade Runner. I don't love it, but I can appreciate what it means to so many people, and from a technical aspect, and from a filmmaking achievement. Those are my final thoughts on Blade Runner. It deserves its spot in history. How can I be a Harrison Ford fan and not like Blade Runner? I just saw it as a little kid, and I guess I had different expectations for it. And then I watched it as an adult, and I still was just like, eh. There are a lot of Harrison Ford things I'm not a fan of. Mosquito Coast, Random Hearts, that movie with Rachel McAdams. Lots of stuff. Jeff works in mysterious ways. Yep, I do. That's why this show's so much fun. Always working in mysterious ways behind the scenes. X-Men had a kick-ass theme song. I can play that on the piano. It's a lot of fun. They did that to the Power Rangers theme. We need an anti-remake movement campaign where they're wasting money, virtue signaling Hollywood could be donating to charity. Now, that's actually a good way to guilt them into shutting up. You want to play dirty with Hollywood? Well, you know what you do? You do that. You put that on them. Make them look into a mirror, and they'll just melt like, oh my God, we're hypocrites now. Yeah, Random Hearts fell asleep during that one. Yeah, Kristen Scott Thomas. Does anyone remember her? She was like in The English Patient, like 3 other movies, and then disappeared, rightfully so. I think she was in The Horse Whisperer, which was like, I think Robert Redford was the Horse Whisperer. My grandma took me to see that because she had no one else to go with. So she took me to see, like, the little girl loses her leg to a horse. Oh my God, that's Dion's worst dream. That is Dion's worst dream. Let me make sure that's the accurate synopsis to the Horse Whisperer, because I think we should make that Dion's. Yeah, here we go. The Horse Whisperer right here. Holy shit! Scarlett Johansson's in the Horse Whisperer. All right, here we go. The Horse Whisperer is a 1998 American drama film directed and starring Robert Redford, based on the 95 novel by Nicholas Evans. Redford plays the title role, a talented trainer with a remarkable gift for understanding horses, who was hired to help an injured teenager played by Scarlett Johansson and her horse back to health following a tragic accident. Yep, Kristen Scott Thomas, Sam Neill, Diane Wiest. This movie's got. Let's see. They're both severely injured. Oh, okay. So yeah. Grace is left with a partially amputated right leg and is bitter withdrawn. I saw this movie once 20 years ago, May of 98. Thanks, Grandma. And I still remember it. So Dion, there we go. That's the official World-Class Bullshitters movie for this month, Dion, the Horse Whisperer. Are you still watching? Let's see. I can check if you're in here. If you're still here, you can hear my voice. We're watching the Horse Whisperer at Horror Hound, dude. I used to like ScarJo until I found out she was an SJW. I like ScarJo a lot too. Thoughts on them remaking American Werewolf in London? Personally, I find it sacrilege. Yeah, I do too. That is a lot like Ghostbusters, where it's revolutionary in certain aspects. It's funny, and it can't be remade. There's nothing to put. You don't need to put a modern lens on that film. What you need to do is you need to re-release it, give it a Shout Factory release, talk about it, have John Landis come out and get people interested. Certain movies just don't need remakes, and that's another one of those. Why did we get Solo when we already had several Han Solo films? The Fugitive, Blade Runner 1 and 2, and Indiana Jones. Well, Disney didn't get a cut of those, so that's why they did that. Yeah, they must leave Werewolf alone is right. Sting was best in his moonwalking days. Yeah, I'm not a Hollywood fan either, unless they adapt our story and we can make it right. Good morning, Jeff. So what's the top story? We were talking about how the production designer on some Star Wars movies was talking about an unfinished / I don't know what the right word to be used here is. They were going to go back to Tatooine on a future Star Wars story movie, but now that's not happening. So that's been put on hold, and people are speculating, is it Boba Fett? Could it have been Obi-Wan? Yesterday we talked about Obi-Wan not being made thanks to Ewan McGregor. Well, not being made thanks to Ewan McGregor, but Ewan McGregor not knowing anything, therefore kind of even putting a bigger gap between these Star Wars stories. So it's all the land of confusion up there. They didn't get a cut of Solo either, being that it lost money. Brian Leif says, I'm driving, so stream all you want. Well, channel dad, where are you going? Better be back for Horror Hound. We need Jabba the Hutt, the movie. I would watch that. I think you would want to put Jabba the Hutt in a movie with Boba Fett and make it crime and gangstery and fun. Ethan the Hutt movie. Oh, so mean. God, I love him. Paul Houston was a great filmmaker for Return of the Jedi. I saw a picture of his models of ATST on Instagram. Why do I feel like I know that guy? Is he the one with glasses and the brownish hair? Because I watch a lot of the special features on the Blu-ray that show Lauren Peterson and Ken Ralston and those guys, the unsung heroes of Star Wars who worked on the effects that made the movie so memorable. Like, they were still around with Lucasfilm, though, for all those years. So, or ILM, I should say, not Lucasfilm, ILM. A Bullshitter, the Phantom Menace movie, Batista plays Jeff. I'm okay with that. I like Dave Bautista. I mean, he's got more muscles. I got more hair. So there's going to be an artistic trade-off, but I'm okay with that. Murder Mystery with Boba Fett and Jabba? Ooh. That could be cool. Didn't ILM become Pixar? No. ILM's still its own thing. Industrial Light and Magic. Now, Lucas and Steve Jobs, and I think a couple other people were involved with some Pixar. So maybe ILM developed some Pixar camera or some of the technology, but ILM, I don't know the whole story. Somebody can tell me in the chat. But ILM was its own thing, and it worked on Star Wars, Indiana Jones, Star Trek movies, all kinds of stuff. ILM's still around today. They do some Avengers work. So, The Rock for Jeff. Jeff should play Jeff. See, I would like to play myself in the movies because I can give the most honest performance, and it could be a lot of fun. But if not me, of course, The Rock. Why not? Again, he has more muscles. I have more hair. Oh, I accept that Jabba the Hutt will be a CGI character, but do a good CGI character. I can accept that, but they need to accept the fact that unless I see stellar quality that looks just like the old puppet, I'm not going to accept it. The 97 version is not acceptable. The 2004 redo is not acceptable. They don't look like Jabba the Hutt should. Jabba the Hutt should look like he originally appeared. He just morphs into something else, and then 6 years later, he becomes the Return of the Jedi version. So they don't have an excuse. They have unlimited budget with these movies. Make it look good. The Boba Fett graphic novel I mentioned in the EU discussion revolves around the Hutts and a murder mystery. I think you'd love it, Jeff. What's the name of it? So I can see if there's an audiobook of it. Because I could use something to listen. Well, I'm going to be with the guys on horror, and I could still use something to listen to. I could use an audiobook to listen to while I draw this comic. There we go. That gives me an excuse. I can listen to some EU stuff, preferably set in the with the original trilogy characters, but I'll watch it or listen to it. And John Dykstra, who spawned, Chloe Dykstra. Ugh, no thanks. Not a fan of hers. I've seen her in that Max Landis video where she plays Triple H or somebody or Shawn Michaels, and that's about the extent of my Chloe Dykstra knowledge in terms of her acting. Andy Serkis' Jabba the Hutt with motion capture. What's he gonna do? Lay on a couch and rub his stomach for 2 hours? It's called Boba Fett Death, Lies, and Treachery. Okay, that's easy to remember. Is Pizza Hut still going? Pizza Hut's still around as far as I know. There's one up the street from me. They're probably open now. I mean, I would say who wants pizza at 10 o'clock, but everybody wants pizza at 10 o'clock. So that's how we operate here in the real world. Let's see. Last Jedi was absolutely dreadful. Yeah, Justin, welcome to the club. It definitely sucked ass. Armchair Warlord, thank you very much. Horses are beautiful and majestic. Dion, chill. Yeah, Dion, chill. Now, tonight, folks, we have World Class Bullshitters, episode 136 coming up. So we'll be talking about all kinds of entertainment-related stuff. The whole crew will be back. Last week, Kendo was away on location, seeing Ghost or Anthrax or Thrasher or Mauler. Or so. He saw some concert that I would not go watch. So, Coke Man, I do want some pizza. You are full of truth, friend. Well, thank you, Coke Man. You are full of truth as well. What did I think of American Horror Story series? I like you, Warren. I only watched the first season, and I loved the first season. I tried to get into the second season, and then it got too hokey, so I stopped. So, if you ask me what I thought of the first season, awesome, double thumbs up. Had to watch it every week. Now, don't even care about it. Oh, Kendo says it's Slayer. All right, Slayer. No, Lando Calrissian says it's Bieber. So I guess I'll go with Lando. Even though Kendo was at the concert, I trust Lando over Kendo. Justin Bieber it was. I'll look at the list of remakes tonight on the podcast. You guys can remind us to do that when everyone's here. So, folks, a Little Caesars down the road. Hot and Ready is for $5. Those take me back to college. Not in a good way. There's no Boba Fett audiobook, but there's a comic. Let's see. Jeff ain't no Mike Zero. Thank you, Sven Sandstrom. I am no Mike Zero. That's a good thing. Waffle House don't make really good waffles, do they? Atlanta into house. I think Waffle House waffles are okay. It's the fake butter they give you to put on it that always makes me sick. Ugh. They need to make breakfast pizza. They have breakfast pizza. It's got like eggs, bacon, and cheese on it. Astro Walker, thank you very much. The Last Jedi CGI Yoda looked whack. They screwed up Jabba. Well, I believe that Yoda was actually a puppet, but they put that weird CGI blue hue, or maybe it was just the lighting. But Frank Oz was on set doing puppetry. So if you watch the director and the Jedi, they got the puppet right, but the way they augmented it for the final film ruined it. It's like when you're drawing a picture and it looks great in the inking stage, then you fuck up the color and then you fucked up the picture. So they would definitely screw up Jabba the Hutt. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if they did build a Jabba the Hutt puppet for you to interact with as an actor, and then they CGI it in later, like they fix it up, touch it up. So, folks, it is 10:05 a.m. That means Good Morning Pop Culture has come to a close once again. So I'd like to take the time to thank everyone who supports the channel. I'd like to take the time to take the time to thank everyone who's here with me every morning. I know there's a lot of people that are new, a lot of people that have stuck around since the beginning, and Good Morning Pop Culture is awesome. I love doing the show every morning. I get jacked up on coffee, eat breakfast foods, and talk about entertainment. So I enjoy the shit out of it. Thank you to everyone who will join us again tonight for good world-class bullshitters. It will be a good night. And then if you're a patron, you're going to get world-class bullshitters after hours. So Thursday is the best day of the week for the patrons because you get the raw, uncut, unfiltered world-class bullshitters where we talk about everything. So, folks, I will be back in just a few short hours. I'm going to take a break from this computer chair, and then I'm going to get back to working on the IndieGoGo comic pitch images. So be on the lookout for that. There'll be an announcement sooner than you think. And let's take it to the top. So thanks to everybody who supports us, and have a good one.